it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Sactown Sports 1140 is broadcasting live on YouTube.
To me, it's a must-watch.
Check out the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and the Cattles and Rami Show. Plus, get exclusive content. Search Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube.
Yeah, I see.
KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. It's Sactown Sports 1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Can you feel it? Did this happen at the end of last week, Jay? Or is this today's special?
Oh, no, this was at the end of last week.
Okay.
It was a make Dave feel good about going on vacation moment.
Now I'm going to dance to this every day.
That's good. That's kind of the idea. Get the blood flowing,
Yeah.
circulation going. I'm dancing too, but nobody can see.
I know, everybody, we need help. JayMarZZ is in the studio at the building by himself.
Bye, literally.
Like the only one there. That happens every once in a while. You have a weekend shift. You're there late at night. It's rare to beat Pat Still from the morning show to the station.
Yeah, Pat gets in at literally like 2 a.m.
I had had this happen once before, Jay, where this was years and years and years ago. Having to do some extra work, and I was leaving, and Pat was rolling in. That was a bad day.
Wow.
I want to say that was a... It felt like Vegas, right? Leaving, and someone else is coming in.
But to be fair, what time was it?
Could have been 3-ish. I guess
Wow.
somewhere in there.
Okay, so
Pat gets there.
I wasn't sure if this was Pat getting in ridiculously early or you leaving ridiculously late.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and say Pat got in ridiculously late, or excuse me, you left ridiculously late.
Yes. Yeah. Years ago, doing some, going above and beyond. And look where it's gotten us all, right, Jay?
Yes.
Here we are.
Here we are. We are above and we are beyond. Beyond help, more than likely.
Yes, we are. Happy Monday to each and every one of you. Carmichael Dave is on vacation this week. Have we said that before?
No, first.
No,
Go first.
For Carmichael Dave of 2022. He's going to be off this week, spending some time with his family. It is me. It is JayMarZZ. It is Monday. It is July 18th, 2022. And we're kind of all over the board today because the Kings wrapped up their summer league. We've got stuff to get into on that. Things look good there. We got baseball's home run derby tonight, halfway point, the mythical halfway point of the season. Golf's final major ended. We got lots of little things going on today. But JayMarZZ, first and foremost, how was your weekend this last weekend?
It was slow, which is the way I prefer it. It didn't go by very fast.
And what makes it slow? Lack of things to do, and that was okay? Just a chill zone? What'd you have going on?
It's a lot of catching up. So this was my one weekend I didn't have Isaiah. So with that, and then Alexa's in nursing school, so she is in books 24/7. So I'm kind of left to my own vices at that point. So
what does that mean? What does JayMarZZ time include?
Well, Saturday was JayMarZZ catching up on all his summer school homework for, my own degree that I am pursuing.
Okay. Yes,
so Saturday was basically nothing but school. And then she decided to have a girls' night. So that means I went to Fire Wings, which was just the greatest thing ever. I haven't had Fire Wings in so long, Jason.
I was talking about that the other day. I haven't either. Fire Wings is great. How was it?
It was fantastic. Got my boneless wings, half buffalo, half Louisiana rub with the Cajun fries, which we are giving them a complete plug they're not paying for, but that's fine. They paid enough in the past. So no, it was excellent. And then yesterday was just kind of chilled, relaxed, got ready for today. So I come in Monday, I'm hyped. I got sleep. It's great.
You slept. You're rested and ready.
I slept. You can hear it in my voice, can't you?
I can. You sound. You're recharged. You're revived.
Yeah, I haven't even finished my coffee yet. That's how you know it was a good sleep night.
That's good. Those are good. Those are good nights. It doesn't always happen in the morning show. Sleep is weird, as you well know, and others that are up. We got a lot of you out there on YouTube already. Thank you. And people that have been up early, anticipation, waiting for things to go on in their lives. And that's what happens. It always marvels me how many people are still up or get up now, and others that are, like we said last week, Jay, from Vegas, where it's like, man, this is about shutdown time for some people in Vegas. This is like ending their previous nighttime.
6? Nah, they still got a couple hours, man.
That's true. That's the lightweights.
Is there a last call in Vegas?
No, it just never ends. It's like, and there's no first call. It just blends.
Is there
Time
any
is irrelevant?
What are the calls in Vegas? You know where? Yep.
Yeah.
Don't walk into that one.
I was about to. I was like, wait, the only answer is this, and I will leave that right there.
Yeah, leave it right there.
Yeah. It is good to be back from Vegas. It was warm there. It was warm here, warm weekend, but that's okay. Normally, if you have Isaiah, though, that's quality pool time for you.
Oh, no, that's 100% pool time. And so, again, no Isaiah this weekend, so no pool time for me. I don't, because I live in a condo complex, so I don't get in the pool unless my son's there. It just feels weird.
Why is that?
It's kind of public-y.
Yeah, so you go in if he's in, or you just observe if he.
It depends. If it's hot enough, I'll go in.
Dad, come on, play with me.
Oh God, dude, he's
Marco Polo or whatever.
Well, he doesn't know Marco Polo, and trust me, I'm not going to teach that to him because that will be a mistake. Number one. Number two, it just depends. So if like we show up and we're the only ones there, I will, 9 times out of 10, I'll get in the pool because, hey, it's more comfortable when nobody's there, number one. And number two, he wants me in there with him. But if he goes, he has some friends he's made around the neighborhood. And if they're there, he wants nothing to do with me, which is fantastic. So usually I prefer the latter to the former.
I like to, I don't know what it says about people, but I feel like there's two different ways to get into a pool. Some people do the touch the toe, get into the first step, second step, you get to the waist. And for males, there's a certain magical threshold when you get there.
Yep.
And then it's like,
are you saying that? Cool. Wait, hold on. I think that threshold applies both ways.
Probably. I can only speak for one.
Sure, me too. But I don't want to be chauvinistic in the sense that ladies don't have the same issue.
Equal opportunity getting into the pool. Yeah, you're right. But I just know from further past experience, or it's just let's go. Let's just jump in, and it's going to be cold or warm or whatever the temperature might be, and then you just go. And that to me is what I do every day. You just jump in, just go.
That's the only way to get into a pool for multiple reasons. One, I feel like when the people that take, the slow steps in, all they're doing is ramping up their own anxiety.
Right. And
whereas it's like, just A, get it over with. B, it's exhilarating. And C, it's especially if you're like, maybe a little tired or something, it's a great way to wake all the senses up.
Oh, it gets everything going. You jump in, you go under, and you're like, okay, likely it's a shock because let's just even pretend it's a 104 day outside. So it's hot. The pool's going to feel good, but it's cooler than your outside temperature. You jump in, you're like, whoo. And then you're in, you're settled. You're like, okay. And if you do a swim one lap or just move around a little bit, you're like, okay, I'm comfortable. This is what the purpose is of this water, to refresh me, recharge me, and I am good getting out. I'm good staying in. I'm good. I'm in. That's the only way to get into a pool.
And your body will adapt to the water so much more quickly than just taking your time. By the time that person has like their waist in, you've already your body temperature's already changed to go to the pool, so you're comfortable. Just it's kind of like it's the old rip the Band-Aid off theory, right? Just rip the damn thing off, except this doesn't hurt. It feels good.
Have you taken him to the ocean to go into the ocean yet?
Isaiah has been into the ocean. Couldn't keep Isaiah out of the ocean.
Oh, good. See, I was wondering if it was sometimes it could be a traumatic thing. Other times,
he's a water
baby.
baby.
You got a fish.
Oh, God, yeah. He's a water baby. We've already we talked about, I think next summer, not this summer, next summer, we're going to put him in like competitive swim. He loves to swim. He's a really good swimmer. Actually, he has a really long, lanky body too. So I think he could actually be pretty decent.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. And I think the ocean's the same way. It's just a little bit trickier to just, you got waves coming your way. It depends on how the water's going. But I think that's the same premise. It's obviously colder than a pool, but you just kind of got to go and then get under that first wave. And then if you're in, you're in. Yeah. And I don't know, some people, the ocean's not for them, I know, but man, growing up basically on the beach. There's nothing, honestly, JayMarZZ, that might be my favorite place on earth, and I could just be. It doesn't have to be a specific beach. It's just the beach I love more than anything.
Do you love the snow as well, or do you not like the snow?
I like it, but there's nowhere close. Like, to me, it's a 10 for the beach, and the snow is. To me, it's the novelty of the snow. I've never lived in it. I think that part would get frustrating, having to, shovel driveways and, those kind of things would drive me crazy on just being able to do whatever we want anytime here, pretty much.
See, I'm like you. I'm a 10 at the beach. Like, I live for the beach. I love the beach. We did, was it a year ago? I think maybe 2 years ago. We went down to San Diego just for a weekend and did nothing but stay on the beach.
That's awesome.
I love the vibe. I love the water. And then the snow is like a 0 out of 10.
A 0. You get no joy out of it.
Hate the snow.
Okay, we need to delve into this. Why?
I don't know if it's just me, my body, the way I am. I cannot stand being wet and cold in like all those clothes. It's just a gross feeling.
Yeah, because there's a chance, people say you just put on more clothes. Yeah, and then you get to a point where you're actually hot and it's 26 degrees. You're like, how am I sweating? And, there's a layer below that's just wet because of sweat. But you're also realizing, you can see your breath. I mean, the snow, again, I appreciate it's not normal for us here in Sacramento, certainly. So if you go to Tahoe, it's cool to be in it, but also knowing that I'm going home in a day or two.
Yeah, exactly. And shout out to Zebra in the YouTube chat. We talked about going, that initial walk-in for men. So that's called our pelvic floor activation. So that's what we're calling that for now on, Jason.
The pelvic floor activation.
I like that. I'm with that. It sounds super... I feel smarter when I say it.
I do too, but I think we just eliminate the pelvic floor activation when you jump in. It's
no, the pelvic floor still has to activate. It just activates much quicker, I'd imagine.
I guess maybe I don't even sense that it happens. It's that quick.
Yeah, right? That might be what it is. That's what I'm saying. It still has to activate. It can't. The pelvic floor cannot go inactive, Jason Ross.
Yeah. I will say this though, about maybe agree or disagree. A snowball fight's better than a splashing fight.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I don't like splashing.
Have you ever been pegged in the face by like a snowball that's made up of fairly hard snow?
The goal is no. I would say no. The goal is to avoid that, but it's I have not, I don't think.
It sucks. One time at Six Flags, of all places, Discovery Kingdom, for the station I used to work at, we were shooting a promo video there. And one of the workers that was working with us and doing it, she thought she was super funny and chucked a snowball at me, not realizing how hard it was, cut underneath my eye. Good times.
They had snow there?
Yeah, it was during the winter time when they have the fake snow, but it's real. Well, I guess it's imported snow.
There was rocks in it.
No, my eye cut, so I'd imagine so.
Was there revenge served?
No, that would have been mean.
You cut your eye, and yet it would have been mean. Some sort of revenge.
Jason, as a man, I felt it was unnecessary to assault her with a snowball, despite what she did to me.
Man, you didn't even get your pelvic floor activated. All right. On that note,
that can go so many different ways, and we're going to take it to commercial. That's the way we're taking that one.
Let's start this Monday bad boy with leading off. We've got that next.
It's Sactown Sports 1140. You wanted more Kings coverage?
Online at SactownSports.com.
More Niners, more Raiders.
SactownSports.com.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
I'm in the great outdoors doing a little Dodge watching with Vince Bloom, the big guy at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge.
Would you look at that?
Those are some pretty high-powered binoculars you got there, Vince.
Yeah, I use them to spot all the Lasher license plates on Ram trucks out there.
Well, there's bound to be a lot, because during the Make This the Summer event, you're offering $12,000 off MSRP on over 35 new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s.
That's a great deal. I know. Hold on. I see another one.
Another Crew Cab?
I think so.
Odds are it's another Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4. After all, $12,000 off MSRP means they start at only $38,940.
Ah, he's taking off.
You lose them, Vince?
Oh, no. Just another happy customer migrating back to Elk Grove Dodge.
Save $12,000 off over 35 new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s, starting at just $38,940.
Only at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge, the Elk Grove Auto Mall, and online at elkgrovedodge.com.
Include $6,500 in California National Chrysler Capital Conquest and select inventory retail bonus cash. Must finance through Chrysler Capital OAC and have qualified vehicle for at least 30 days. Sample VIN 347916 ends 8122.
Let's do it. It's time for Leading Off. Brought to you by Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge, where for over 60 years, their name means a great deal in Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com. Here's cut number 1.
Anything that you want to know, just ask Scott. He has everything for you guys. For me, I just gotta keep playing baseball.
Is it frustrating you that this stuff comes out, that it's public, and that it's not just between you and the team?
It is. It feels really bad to see stuff going on like that. Because I'm a guy who keep everything on my side, keep everything quiet, and try to keep it just Dan and me. But they just take the decision and do whatever they need to do.
When you're going to the All-Star break, this is a weekend that's supposed to be for fun. So how are you able to kind of put this aside and just be able to focus on that, if you're able to?
I mean, it won't happen. It won't do any damage to my weekend. I'm gonna try to enjoy as much as I can. You know, it feels a little uncomfortable at the beginning, but I will be fine.
And then you talked recently about wanting to be here, not necessarily wanting to be traded. Have those feelings changed at all, or would you like to be in Washington if things worked out?
I mean, for me, this is the team I've been since 2015. I've been with this team, and I feel good with it. And when I get to know the city more, it feels great. Why should I need to change?
Good question, Juan Soto. But when you're asked for a 15-year, $440 million contract and you say, no,
Yeah.
I don't think you want to be there. I don't think it's money. I think that there's not a lack of money here. Jay would have been the largest contract in the history of baseball. He's a young stud. He's 23. I think a lot of teams will want to get their hands on him. In Washington, it looks like they want to keep him, but it looks like that's going to be a partnership that's not going to maintain.
Yeah, he's a free agent at the end of the 24 season, and if he's rejecting a 15-year, $440 million contract, unless you come with something that is like much larger than that, which is hard to even fathom, he is likely walking in 2 years. I think now is the time to trade him, simply because if he's already given you these signs that he's not coming back, you need to get a haul for him. Not that you can't get one next season, but there's really no point in holding on to him. You're, I believe, 32 games under 500. You're 27 and a half back in the division. You're clearly on pace to be one of the worst teams in baseball this year. Jason, there are several teams. Like, think about like what the A's got for Matt Olson. They got, like, I believe 4 of the top 7 prospects in the Braves organization. What is Juan Soto going to command? Yeah, and that's the thing. I've already read reports that, they're, compare sports now, but they're like, this is going to be like a Kevin Durant type deal. Like, they're shooting for the world, and they should. I mean, he's not even in his baseball prime. He's got so much good baseball ahead of him. He's a generational type player, face of a franchise, and if he's turning down that kind of money, I mean, that's what Washington's going to do, Jay. They're just going to shoot for the moon and try to get as much as they can, and then even add more onto that if they can. Yeah, and they've been in a rebuild mode since winning the World Series in 2019, and now it's like they've kind of hit rock bottom. Is obviously very cliche, but again, you look at their record, you look what's going on there. They also, I believe, have one of the 5 worst farm systems in baseball, so they clearly need to reload with a team that hasn't been good for several years now. It's just a matter of who's going to pony up the prospects and then who's going to pony up the cash. And realistically, Jason, we know how baseball works. There's a handful of teams that can both trade for him and sign him to a massive deal. Yeah, and we're going to go over some of those teams and why one of them needs to, and I say needs to, be the San Francisco Giants, not just for this year, but this is obviously a decade-long play, if not longer than that. We'll get into that a little bit later, but Juan Soto rejects a 15-year, $440 million contract. Now the Nats are going to explore offers, which is amazing when you got young talent like that, but that's something to watch going ahead. Let's go to cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
Slightly right to left. Back and through, and he's made it. 20 under par, a fist pump to the crowd. Hat off. A 64 on Championship Sunday, 30 on the back 9.
The Australian gives a Sunday finish to remember at St. Andrews.
Yep, golf's final major wrapped up of the year, at least yesterday, early morning time for us. By a little bit, let's say by 11 in the morning, it was done. Cameron Smith went off. He had an amazing back 9. I know myself, and it seemed like everybody there and a lot of people watching were rooting for Rory McIlroy. And Rory wasn't bad, but Cameron Smith was great. And he just caught him, went right past him, and wins golf's final major of the year at historic St. Andrews. A lot of this week was about Tiger and his return to St. Andrews, what could be his final trip there. He had that great, iconic, and legendary walk down 18 on Friday when he missed the cut. But yesterday, Cameron Smith, sometimes, Jay, we look at, if it's an individual event like this or sporting events, a lot of times we look at the team that lost or the individual that lost and think, man, what went wrong? But to me, honestly, watching a lot of this tournament, it was Cameron Smith coming and getting it. And sometimes the other team or the other individual just plays great and you're kind of at their mercy. And that's what it felt like yesterday watching it.
Yeah, and I can't remember, was it the front nine or the back nine? He had 5 straight birdies.
It was the back nine.
It was a back nine. Yeah. And then, like you said, sometimes we also talk about, especially in individual tournaments, what someone else didn't do. It seemed like he had the complete opposite game going that Rory McIlroy had going. Rory just couldn't putt for the life of him yesterday.
Yeah, he was 2-putting every hole, which, he wasn't, blowing up, wasn't doing anything drastically wrong, just couldn't roll anything in. And you just think about one swing, maybe Cameron Smith misses one of his birdie putts, Rory rolls one in. We got a different tournament. It was that fragile, but, Cameron Smith, another new name to win a major. And that's the other thing we always caution everybody when it also reminds me how great Tiger is and was, and certainly Jack and others, because Jay, anytime a young golfer comes in and wins like Rory did early on, and it's been years since he's won again.
8 years now.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, an individual, there's so many good golfers out there. And this year, I think it was case in point, 4 new major winners this year. Well, there was one repeat in Justin Thomas, as far as he had won a major before, but Scheffler's the number 1 golfer in the world. He wins a major. Here's Cameron Smith, who's been on the doorstep all these years. It's difficult. There's a lot of times there's new names every year, and sometimes those people just win 1, maybe 2 majors.
Yeah, but I want to go back to your original point. It's just like, obviously, I think we appreciate Tiger for the greatness, but really watching him in his prime, it almost became, it was weird when he didn't win a major. Now you get guys that all 4 majors again this year had a different champion in them, new champions except for Justin Thomas. It's just crazy to see how much different the game is now that Tiger is kind of not there anymore on that stage. It's really opened it up where every tournament, it's anyone's ball game.
Right. And I think in a sense it's good for golf, but you have to really be into it to follow all these names. Right. Let's get, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it kind of goes back to that. It's the same kind of argument we have, we've had in the NBA, right? Is it better to have that one dominant figure that everyone is shooting for to beat? Or is it better to have, like you've seen this year in the PGA Tour, not the tour so much as the majors, as there's parity.
Right.
And kind of giving you the idea that when you turn on the channel, you don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, it is kind of a mystery each and every week, and certainly played that way with the majors. Let's get one last cut here in leading off.
Cut number 3.
And that should just about do it. This one is cooked, glazed, and sliced. The Portland Trail Blazers will win it 85-77.
Sure. Give them rings now, huh? Nice timing.
Whatever.
Kings weren't able to go back-to-back in the Summer League, though their Summer League was actually quite good. We'll get a lot into that. Portland Trail Blazers win in Las Vegas. They win the Summer League Championship. Trendon Watford wins the championship game MVP. Summer League MVP to be announced today. Keegan Murray, excuse me.
If it's anyone other than Keegan Murray, do we riot?
Oh, we are rioting anyway. Keegan was great. He was absolutely great. We're going to get a deep dive into the Kings, how they looked, how Keegan looked. But congrats to the Blazers. They win the title. And yeah, I'm not too bitter about them getting rings when the Kings already have 2 titles and they didn't get any rings for those.
Yeah, you got to let someone else win every once in a while, right? Let someone else feel good about themselves. So Portland, now you get to claim a title. Rip City is back.
They are back. Maybe it's time to trade Dame. They didn't even need him.
So. Oh,
right?
no.
They didn't need him. Facts.
Nah, get what you can for him now.
Exactly. All right, that is leading off the first half of the Major League Baseball season. It's done. It's gonzo. And the A's, yeah, it's gone as expected. But where's the Giants' magic of 2021? And will the Mariners ever lose again? We look at baseball when we come back.
Sactown Sports 1140 is broadcasting live on YouTube.
To me, it's a must-watch.
Check out the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and the Cattles and Rami Show. Plus, get exclusive content. Search Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave talking about my friends at American Energy. $49 tune-up offer. I did it 2 weeks ago. You should do it too. It's only $49 for an air conditioning tune-up, and you get a free indoor air quality test. Oh, it's so simple. Call today to schedule your appointment with my local friends at American Energy at 916-520-9990. Catch the 916 there, 520-9990. A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. Been around since 81. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Jim Gaffigan Live in the Fun Tour.
Some people are like, you should never lie to a child. When you have kids, you lie to them all the time. You're like, you wouldn't like this ice cream. It's very spicy. I'd share, but Santa said I can't. Now, why don't you go to sleep so I can wrestle your mom?
Jim Gaffigan, a night of all new material. Saturday, August 6th, Thunder Valley Outdoor Amphitheater. For the summer concert schedule and to purchase tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com.
Hi, guys. It's Andrew with Coastside Clinic. Are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical breakthrough. The WAVE technology at Coastside Clinic was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique. I don't think I've ever seen it fail. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your love life back. Call Coastside Clinic now to qualify. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000.
When the world's best players get fitted for new golf clubs, they want to see their ball flight outdoors. And why should you settle for any less? The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is the area's unquestioned leader in delivering a new age of golf club fitting to Northern California. With 14 trained, skilled professionals to show you how to hit the ball farther and straighter, satisfied customers have increased their yardage, improved their games, and gained confidence. Call 916-808-2531 to get started. That's 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Kenny and Jerry from Bell Brothers, the no surprise guys. And when it comes to windows, nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. That's no, as in no hard sales pitches. Our pressure-free quotes let you buy new home windows without the arm twisting. No pricing games. We give you a firm, fair quote the first time. No cutting corners. Our window installers are manufacturer certified and passionate about details. No lemons. We refuse to install cheap windows. Our windows are independently rated for premium energy efficiency and performance. And finally, no regrets. You get total peace of mind with our windows buyback guarantee. Do you want beautiful, energy-efficient windows with no stress? Call Bell Brothers. And right now, you can save up to $2,350 on your new windows. That's based on an average size home with 8 windows and a slider. That's up to $2,350 off. But you have to call now. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
Safe Credit Union is local, in your community, and member-owned. Because members are shareholders, Safe's profits, they're reinvested in you. You get lower rates and higher dividends so you can save more and you'll reach your financial goals faster. Now, Safe's branch staff, they're knowledgeable and ready to serve, and in-branch appointments are always encouraged at safecu.org. When you need advice about the future, well, let Safe put you first. Join Safe and be a part of the credit union movement today at safecu.org. Safe Credit Union is insured by NCUA.
You know they've been here for a combined 50 years. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Swinging a fly ball in the left center field. Winker is there calling for it, and the ball game is over. The Mariners have won 14 consecutive games.
Amazing.
Had that on my MLB bingo card.
Man, Good for you if you did, because at one point the Mariners were kind of floundering. They were one of the nice stories last year. There were expectations going into this year. They did a lot of player movement in the offseason. They were 37-42, so just floundering along in the first half of the season. That victory yesterday gives them 14 in a row. They're now 9 games above 500. They're still way back from the Astros, but they've got themselves in the wild card mix, and things can turn around in baseball. Their long season. Most people don't go through 14-game win streaks like the Mariners are currently on, but man, what a feeling to go into the break. The break is probably the worst thing that could happen to the Mariners, Jay, but that is a city, as much as we here in Sacramento, have misery here with the Kings. It's been 16 long years since they made the playoffs. The Mariners have the longest active sports drought of making the postseason. It's been all the way since 2001, and that was a great team that lost way too early that set a record for wins. So they've had a rough time up in Seattle.
They have, and they've been through stops and starts, rebuilds. They've had their moments in the past 20 years where they thought they were getting close, and then nope, pull the plug, trade guys, rebuild, pull the plug, trade guys, rebuild again. If you're in Sacramento, that sounds very familiar to you, I'm sure. I want to go back to what you said about, the All-Star break might be the worst thing to happen to them. Actually, Scott Service, their manager, said just the opposite.
Yeah, I heard that.
He was like, nah, we needed a break. So I don't know if he felt like they were starting to, get a little exhausted or what was going on there, but it sounds like the All-Star break was much needed for the Mariners. And imagine, Jason, winning 14 straight and still being 9.5 back in your division.
I know. That's how good. I don't feel like the Astros have been pubbed nearly enough. They've had a great first half. People want to hate them, and I'm not telling you to like them. I understand why people hate them. I'm a big Dusty fan. I don't really care that much about the Astros in general. But, Jay, they've had a great first half. There's so much love for what the Yankees have done, and Dodgers are naturally going to get a lot of attention in the National League. But here are the Astros, 59-32. Again, one of the best teams in baseball. Verlander's been amazing coming off Tommy John, and Houston's going to be a problem for a lot of teams in the postseason.
I see what you did there. Houston's going to be a problem. They are, and the AL is really shaping up now. You have the Astros out in the West. The Central's just kind of there, right, with Minnesota.
It
exists, but no one's really paying attention. And then you just have that AL East, which is just, we talked about the Mariners going on that win streak. I think the Orioles win streak was just as impressive, if not more than the Mariners, because you look at, and I don't have the standings in front of me, but
I've got them.
Are all 5 teams above 500 right now in the AL East?
The Orioles are 500.
Okay.
But that's amazing. So they're 500, then Boston 3 above. You got Toronto 7 above, Tampa 20 above, and then the Yankees, I don't even know what that math is. Yeah. But that's amazing. I mean, Baltimore's been garbage for a decade, and for them to be 500 in that division too.
Yes.
That's a great story. They're probably going to come up short and everything, but they're ahead of schedule, and good for the Orioles to kind of figure something out.
Yeah, and they got the I believe, did they have the number 1 pick over this weekend?
Yeah,
they drafted Jackson Holiday.
Yeah.
Former Matt Holiday, everyone remember, former 7-time All-Star. Also, and I was looking over Matt Holiday's stats just when I saw Jackson get drafted number 1. I had forgot about his 3-month stint in Oakland.
Oh, I do remember that, but what else stood out? I'm trying to think. I wouldn't have known he was a 7-time All-Star. Man, I knew he was a
7-time All-Star. I believe won an NLCS MVP, won a World Series with the Cards. I want to say won the Silver Slugger Award several times. Now, Matt Holliday hit over 300 for his career.
Nice.
Hit over 1,000 RBIs. I think either 200 or 300 home runs. I can't remember. But I was looking over it. I'm like, this dude has a Hall of Fame level career.
Well, and it's him or it's Jackson Holiday and Ken Griffey Jr., right? Are the only 2 former sons of major leaguers to be drafted number 1 overall. That's pretty amazing company.
Yeah. And then number 2, Drew Jones, son of Andrew Jones.
And wasn't there 4 in the top 10 or something?
Yeah. Who was the other one that had their son drafted? It was someone Carl Crawford.
Carl Crawford. I think there was one more, but yeah, it was wait, Carl Crawford is a son that old? It's man, where does this time go? Where does the time go? But Jackson Holiday, congrats to him. Orioles have been a nice story. The A's, they took a product here from Sacramento, a catcher, and the catcher's kind of deep in their organization of all things, but they're just going obviously best player available. Played at Jesuit, went to Arizona State, I believe. Susac there. That's going to be the first addition to the A's. The A's first half, I will say this, at least they ended with 2 of 3 beating the Astros, but I mean, 32-61. When you say there's still the second half of the season to go, it's just, what are they selling? What are they going to get in return? And what are they trying to build for whatever their future is? Because, I mean, this is a lost season, and I don't blame them for it, Jay. They stripped it clean in the offseason.
Well, they just traded Bethancourt, so they've already started making moves. But you would imagine if the A's, the one big key piece I think that will be moved is their one all-star Blackburn. He's going to get something in return because I believe he's a free agent, so there's no way they're going to re-sign him. But you had me when you said there's still the second half of the season. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, and Montas, right? Won't he?
Yeah, Frankie Montas. Well, we thought he would have been traded by now, but he hasn't been. So, I mean, conventional wisdom says Montas will be gone, but, you know, at this point, it's hard to predict that given that he's still here when they were doing that huge fire sale. I mean, nobody thought he would start the season in Oakland, yet here we are at the All-Star break. He's still in Oakland A.
Yeah, that's true. And then on the Giants on the other side, at least they finished going into the break well because they were floundering too. They're not going to catch the Dodgers by any means, but they're basically in the 5 teams searching for 3 of those wild card spots. The finish to the break was good, winning their last 3. They're now 5 above 500. But, last year, not only were they good, it also felt like one of those seasons. And they don't happen that often where, they had so many comebacks, so many late game dramatic situations, fluky things that went in their favor. But that doesn't mean they weren't a good team because they were. They haven't had that same kind of consistent good fortune, I would say, this year. And injuries early on. And just, I felt like last year everything lined up perfectly for them.
Yeah, and given what they lost on that team, I think the big thing, Gausman was great for them last year. And I think they've kind of replaced him with Rodon in that rotation. And Rodon's been excellent. Logan Webb, I don't know how he's not on the All-Star team. Logan Webb has been fantastic this year. It really comes down to, Jason, the hitting and keeping, the position players injury free. You saw Lamont Wade Jr. hit a big home run yesterday.
Finally.
He's been hurt most of the year. You get Brandon Belt, who gets his injuries. Crawford is a guy that, you always have to wonder if he's going to have to miss some time. Longoria, you already know is going to miss some time. So you have those injuries you're dealing with, and then you have to counter that with the bats they lost in the offseason. Again, Buster Posey retiring. Buster Posey hit great last year. Chris Bryant signing in Colorado. Those were 2 huge bats that Jock Peterson has been amazing, but he can't make up for both. This is a team, we've talked about this since the season started, Jason. They need another big bat in that lineup, a big bat.
Yep, and that's why when we dive in a little later about what's happening in Washington and Juan Soto, the Giants, if you just look at what the division has done and the names that they have going forward, let's start with the Padres. They've got Tatis for the next decade. The Dodgers have Mookie Betts and others. The Giants just can't match up on just knowing you start every season with Mookie Betts and Fernando Tatis, even if, this year Tatis has been injured. That just puts those teams in a spot of being ahead of everybody else. And the Giants don't have that player right now, and that's why they got to be super aggressive here. Winning 7 of 9 going into the break may help them. I felt like they were right on that pendulum, Jay, of being buyers or sellers and maybe leaning towards sellers. But you win 7 of 9, you're still in the wild card race. I think they still have the framework of a good team. It's, what move pushes you one way or the other. And I don't think they need to tear the team up by any means, but could you sell to get yourself in a little bit better position going forward next year? Or are you buying to say, no, we're not done with this season, and maybe an aggressive buy also keeps us competitive for years to come?
Well, and that's just it. It has to be an aggressive buy at this point, because if you're talking about a player like Juan Soto, you're going to have to
that's huge.
You're going to have to empty out your farm system, which the Giants have done a great job rebuilding over the last several seasons. Credit where credit is due there. They have some very nice prospects in that system. So they're definitely someone that can get the Nationals' attention. And on top of that, the Giants are one of the few markets that can pay Juan Soto crazy money. And if you look at him, you look at the type of player he is, he's so young. Was he 24?
23.
23. You can pay him 15. You can lock him up. Jason, he's not even in his prime yet.
Right.
So he's just young enough. You have the farm system to do it. He's the type of player that's going to fit into the Giants culture great. He's a fun-loving guy. That's what they like to do in that clubhouse, and they desperately need a star. Farhan Zaidi has made it a point over the last several seasons not to pay big money to, mediocre to average players. He has been holding off, I think, for this big swing at a superstar. And I think the Giants are going to be very aggressive when it comes to that.
Yeah, we got to watch that as this home run derby's tonight, all-star game tomorrow. Baseball's at the halfway point, at least the mythical halfway point. NBA season ended with the Summer League yesterday. We'll get into the Kings a little bit later in the show. We're at a great time, though, for the NFL and wide receivers. But who's the actual best? Well, one of them has an answer. We'll tell you who they think. We have that and more coming up. Some NFL talk straight ahead.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports 1140. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people that play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa. Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility, and Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality, and Safe Credit Union. Let us put you first.
Right, and the purchase markets are doing this thing and that thing. Shelby, as I always say, you're the captain of the ship that gets everybody through those waters. What's going on over at United Wholesale Lending?
We are heavily focused on purchase business right now.
This is the time of year, I know. You would think more people go and see houses, but how is that working as opposed to rates scaring people? Are we still seeing that huge influx of people going out there?
Well, there's some more inventory that's coming onto the market, and the market is shifting from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Even with the interest rates going up, now the market is kind of softening up and making it easier for home buyers to get their offer accepted and also to get a better deal.
You can pre-approve them on the phone in under 15 minutes without even running their credit. But what you also do is you give them the exact things they need to knock out personally so that they can get into homes.
That's exactly right. We create a roadmap to get them in the position to buy a house.
RefinanceWithShelby.com. That's RefinanceWithShelby.com. NMLS number 279051. BRA number 01864354.
MVP's bonus days are here for pros. For 12 days, pros save big and MVPs get even more. Because MVP's Pro Rewards members can earn bonus points to redeem for rewards. Earn points on every dollar spent up to $1,000 and get up to 3 times more points when you shop select brands and products. Find MVP's bonus day savings from July 11th to the 22nd in-store and online. Exclusively at Lowe's. Exclusively for pros. MVP's Pro Rewards program subject to program terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/L/Pro Loyalty terms. Subject to change.
When you bundle your renters and auto insurance with Progressive, you could save money, but it doesn't cover any terrible memories living rent-free in your head.
Hey, just wanted to remind you of that time your kicker missed the extra point and lost the game. Even though he literally never missed an extra point, he chose this playoff game to miss. Yeah, I just noticed you hadn't thought about that in a bit. Wouldn't want you to miss, thinking about it.
Sorry, we can't save you from that memory, but we could save you money bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Renters insurance and bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Hey, kids, it's Carmichael Dave talking to you about Capital Casino. Summertime heat is here, and Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite all of you to soak up some air conditioning, hang out, have some food, have a beverage. Always the most variety of table games in the region. Always the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
MVP's bonus days are here for pros. For 12 days, pros save big and MVPs get even more. Because MVP's Pro Rewards members can earn bonus points to redeem for rewards. Earn points on every dollar spent up to $1,000 and get up to 3 times more points when you shop select brands and products. Find MVP's bonus day savings from July 11th to the 22nd in-store and online. Exclusively at Lowe's. Exclusively for pros. MVP's Pro Rewards program subject to program terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/L/Pro Loyalty terms. Subject to change.
Greetings, Sacramento. It's Doug Christie here with the Good Feet Store asking, when was the last time you did something nice for your feet? If you're like most people, your feet get attention only when there's a problem. That can mean something painful, maybe real painful, like plantar fasciitis. That was me. I counted on my feet to make a living, but ignored them until almost too late. Fortunately, I found the Good Feet Store, got my free personalized fitting and test walk, and in 20 minutes, I left with my expertly fit Good Feet 3-step arch support system. The pain was no more, and my feet have never felt so comfortable. I'm a Good Feet believer, and you can be too. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, and Modesto. Online at goodfeet.com.
Stimulating conversation about kitchen gadgets and baseball cards.
And I think that's really crazy interesting.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
Yes, he is. Never know what Big Lou's got going on in that little secret box of Big Lou's.
It's the M box today for Monday.
Yes. Happy Monday. Jason Ross, JayMarZZ here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Is that the true sign of old age is when you have the 7-day pill box? Like, I remember when my grandparents got those things, like, oh, wow, you have to put all your pills in one day because you have so many of them.
Yes, and to keep them organized, remember what you've taken and not. And apparently candy trays are, right? I did not know that for the longest time when you eat certain kind of candies. Oh, are you an old man? I'm like, it's candy. What? I don't understand.
I mean, I remember is it the Weathers or Withers?
Yeah, Werther's.
Werther's. Thank you.
Toffee. They're really good.
The butterscotch.
Yes. And people would always say, oh, okay, old man. I'm like, wait, okay, because I like these. Sure.
That always has been associated with old people's, though, is Werther's.
Because they have those candy trays, right? At their house. Like, okay, I just have candy, though. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, so basically your old pill box, Werther's hard candies, and a cookie jar.
Oh, a cookie jar.
Yeah, but nobody young has cookie jars.
Mine wouldn't last anyway.
No.
Cookies are made, they're gone.
Yeah. No, I mean, we didn't even get the homemade ones. It was just, we always knew they were cookies. We didn't care as kids. My grandma would go get either a Keebler or
and put them in the cookie jar?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. I always thought those were, I mean, I guess you could of course put store-bought, but it feels like those are better for homemade.
Yeah, my grandma wasn't making homemade anything. Everything was store-bought. My mom my mom has told the stories about at Thanksgiving, you know what their gravy was?
Uh-oh.
It was mushroom soup just thickened up.
Was it okay?
No, she said it was terrible. My mom's whole inspiration for learning how to cook was because her mom couldn't.
Because she didn't want to be her.
Yes.
Well, hey, motivation comes in strange packages, right? And there's one. Let's see, what do we got on our text line? We thank everybody for checking us out this morning here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Almost everybody.
Yeah, even our
Except
YouTube
Paul.
or on our text line. A week without Dave gets everyone charged up.
Wow.
We miss the big fella.
Dave catching strays. It's not even 7 a.m.
Yes. Reports are out that the Timberwolves are actually ready to give away all of their grandchildren of all the employees for Juan Soto.
They got to throw in a couple pick swaps, I think.
Might have to. And Jay, I don't know if you still do this, but like, you know, after the show's done, by the way, you can always go back to Sactown Sports 1140. All of our great content there will live again, and you can podcast the show and listen to it at your own leisure. I believe if you are going to name this show, it has to be pelvic floor activation.
I thank you again to Zebra on our YouTube chat for that this morning. Pelvic floor activation is going to be used in so many different, context for the rest of my life. But it's never going away. Put it that way. Pelvic floor activation.
Yeah, but it does feel like that's the appropriate name for this Monday show.
Yes, it is. This is we are activating all of your pelvic floors.
Yes. So make sure if you don't understand why, you got to listen to every minute of every show.
That's
You'll
why.
Understand. Yeah.
Why you don't miss it. That's why you don't miss a minute of the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave absent, JayMarZZ filling in show.
We're all here. We're all ready to go. We're all thinking about all the things going on, including Raiders rookies reporting to camp today. We're 17 days away from the Hall of Fame game. That'll be the Raiders and Jags, the much anticipated Raiders and Jags Hall of Fame game, Jay. I mean, like you put those two teams together, the history that they have together, man.
It's the Josh McDaniel, Doug Peterson matchup we have been waiting for since what Super Bowl was that 3-4 years ago?
Yeah.
The offensive coordinator versus the head coach.
The revenge game.
The revenge. This is Josh McDaniel's revenge game.
Yeah.
It's possibly Trevor Lawrence for versus Derek Carr for a series.
Yeah, maybe if we get that much.
And who's backing
probably
up Carr this year?
Oh man.
It's not Peterman. Peterman signed somewhere else.
It's and obviously they lost Mariota.
Yeah, Mariota's gone.
It is I'm gonna have to look at this because I can't remember right now.
Ha! I stumped the Ross.
Jarrett Stidham. Former Patriot. Nick Mullins is also there.
Oh, that's right. They did get a big
Former
picnic.
Niner great.
Big
picnic.
Big picnic.
That's
I
great.
forgot Stidham coming over because obviously his coordinator in New England was McDaniel, so he's
Yes.
familiar with his offense. That actually makes a little bit of sense.
Carr better stay healthy.
Carr better stay healthy. Carr, I don't know. Did you see NFL.com's QB index last week?
No.
They have him ranked 10th
Okay.
among 62 quarterbacks in the league.
You know what we'll do, and we'll probably do this because we'll have some shows like this coming up where it's previewing the NFL and looking at the teams, but maybe some position rankings. And when we always do that, they're a top 10 quarterback, and then you start to list them. You go, well, be careful there, because when you start to go, you're like, you know what, they're actually outside the top 10. So we'll do that. And I feel like when I've done this exercise the last couple of years, Jay, there's like 5 to 6 that are a lock. That's no doubt, but that 7 through about 13 changes every year because.
Yes.
What year did you have last year? Like Stafford will be higher this year. He wins the Super Bowl.
Stafford was 5th.
Okay, oh, wow, he went a lot higher. But I mean, he had a good year. Was on a good team and did well. But I always felt like here's the guys that are kind of interchangeable over the years on the season they had: Matt Ryan, Stafford, Carr. Jimmy G can kind of sometimes be in that group, and other times people go, "No, he's way past that." Well, that's okay. Cousins. Wentz, like they're all good-ish, but
Cousins
where do
was
you
top 10.
shuffle them? But they're not Rodgers, they're not Brady, they're not Wilson. Like those others clearly are a notch above, and so there's that other group that they're not terrible. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are worse than them, but they're in that group that kind of interchanges every year.
Yeah, again, it's always top heavy, but that's kind of the NFL in a nutshell, right? You get these top heavy teams with the quarterbacks, and we've seen it. You can win 2 different ways. You can win with the superstar Tom Brady quarterback, but as you kind of alluded to, Matt Stafford made 1 Pro Bowl in Detroit. 1. He gets to LA. He was a top 5 quarterback last year. The guy was amazing. He looked great in the entire playoffs, the Super Bowl. And now and again, through their index, which is based upon last year, it's the 5th best quarterback in football. It just goes to show you don't need necessarily a Brady or Rodgers to win as long as you surround a quarterback with a really good line,
right,
a proper run game, and some receivers to throw to. It really is interesting how the league shifts every year in that way.
Yeah, and I think we're also in a really good time for wide receivers in this league. Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson says that Devontae Adams right now is the best wide receiver in the game. It helps when you've got a great quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. Now he has Derek Carr. But Jefferson claims that he will be the best at the end of this season. The second-year pro has gotten off to an amazing start through 2 years, but it could be Jefferson, could be Adams, could be Cooper Kupp, could be Jamar Chase. I mean, there's just a lot of good wide receivers. Debo, of course. I mean, there's so many good receivers, and it's kind of, you need the great quarterback, Jay. You need to have a big season, need to stay healthy. I think there was a time where I thought Hopkins, just pound for pound, was great.
He was. At one time, I think he was.
Yeah,
DeAndre Hopkins was the best receiver. Julio for sure for a while there.
But, I mean, we've got a good list of receivers right now, and I think that's, it's been drafted very high the last couple of drafts, a lot of first-round wide receivers. So you go that high, you've got a quarterback that can get you the ball, you got to start producing.
Doesn't it seem like as the running back position has kind of become that, running back by committee, this is more running backs definitely fit more into a scheme than you do having that great Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders running back there, that the wide receiver has taken so much more prominence?
Yes, and the shorter passing game, even the longer threat for some of these guys. And now, of course, Jay, you brought him up, Debo. Like, if you can use a guy like that in the way as a running back or getting in the ball more, if they're that talented, I think these coordinators are figuring out we got to get these, freak athletes the ball more.
Yeah, I mean, the two-way threat in football is really a luxury. Look at some guys. You have Debo in San Francisco. Patterson in Atlanta has proven to be a great two-way
threat. I think it's going to happen more.
Mm-hmm. And if he could ever stay healthy, he's not a wide receiver, but he's a running back who catches the ball great as McCaffrey.
Right.
He just can't stay healthy. But those guys that can run the ball and catch the ball, you're going to start to see that not only become a luxury, but I think if those guys can prove that they can stay healthy for several seasons, that type of player is going to get paid.
Yes. Big time weapon. Well, the NFL 17 days away from the Hall of Fame game. One other note on the Raiders, offensive lineman Richie Incognito has spent a couple years with the Raiders, announced his retirement over the weekend. All right, we've got a lot of basketball coming up in the next hour. Grading the Kings are coming up in 3 for Madness. Keegan's summer, that was just so great. When we come back, though, we will have one final look at golf's final major of 2022 wrapped up yesterday. Another missed chance for Rory McIlroy. Recap the Open when we start the 7 o'clock hour next.
A revamped website, expanded coverage of the teams you love, more accessible than ever. Where is it? Online at SactownSports.com and on your dial at 1140. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise in the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback, and by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
What's your name? I am Nathan. This is Sean. This is Juan and we are Boys to Men.
The greatest R&B group of all time is back. Boys to Men in concert. Saturday, July 30th, Thunder Valley Outdoor Amphitheater with High Five, Father MC, and Shy. Tickets on sale now. For the summer concert schedule and to purchase tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Boys to Men.
Folsom Chevy, where friends send their friends to buy, is celebrating their 30th year in business serving the Sacramento community. And that means big savings for you. If you're looking for a new gas saver, hybrid, electric vehicle, or something to pull your trailer or boat, they have an excellent selection for you to choose from. Before you go somewhere else and pay more, make sure to check out Folsom Chevy in the Folsom Auto Mall, or check them out at folsomchevy.com. And if you're looking to sell your vehicle, be sure to visit them as well. They're paying top dollar, and you don't even need to purchase a vehicle from them to sell them yours. Folsom Chevy, where friends send their friends to buy. Find new roads.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Coastside Clinic. Are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical breakthrough. The wave technology at Coastside Clinic was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique. I don't think I've ever seen it fail. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your love life back. Call Coastside Clinic now to qualify. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000.
Dodge Watching with Vince Bloom, the big guy at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge.
Look at all those Lasher license plates out there.
That's because during the Make This the Summer event, Vince, you're offering $12,000 off MSRP on over 35 new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s, starting at just $38,940.
He's taking off.
You lose him?
No, just another happy customer migrating back to Elk Grove Dodge in the Elk Grove Auto Mall.
Include $6,500 in California National Chrysler Capital Conquest and select inventory retail bonus cash. Must finance the Chrysler Capital OAC and have qualified vehicle for at least 30 days. 7347916 ends 8122.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Shooting lower scores isn't always about changing your swing or equipment. Sometimes it's as simple as changing how you hit certain shots on the course. Molly Braid, a Golf Digest Best Young Teacher, sees a classic mistake on uphill chips. Players will grab a sand wedge thinking the high-lofted club will get the ball in the air, but instead, the ball pops too high and comes up short. Use a club with less loft, Braid says. Grab your pitching wedge, 9-iron, or even 8-iron, depending on how far you hit the ball. Set up with your hips and shoulders in line with the hill. The handle is going to come back, and there will be added loft to the club, so it will have more height, like a sand wedge. Your pitching wedge and your 9-iron don't have as much loft as your sand wedge, but when you're hitting from a steep uphill lie, your pitching wedge is going to produce sand wedge-like results. You'll get that high trajectory up and over the hill to land soft on the green. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Safe Credit Union is local, in your community, and member-owned. Because members are shareholders, Safe's profits, they're reinvested in you. You get lower rates and higher dividends, so you can save more, and you'll reach your financial goals faster. Now, Safe's branch staff, they're knowledgeable and ready to serve, and in-branch appointments are always encouraged at safecu.org. When you need advice about the future, well, let Safe put you first. Join Safe and be a part of the credit union movement today at safecu.org. Safe Credit Union is insured by NCUA.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
The flagship.
Ball game. Sacramento wins.
KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140, the flagship station of your Sacramento Kings. It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
Here we go. Hour number 2 underway of the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Carmichael Dave on vacation this week. So it's me. It's JayMarZZ. We got you all settled in. Fun first hour. We appreciate all of you. A lot of you on Sactown Sports 1140 YouTube. Thank you. Those of you checking in on the text line, we appreciate that. 916-339-1140. One of our messengers here, let's see, did J. Ross ever explain what happened to him at the end of last week? I just disappeared. I got away. No. I fell victim to it, JayMarZZ.
No!
Yes, I had a positive test. I was positive about my experience in Las Vegas. I came home. I felt like I was pretty...
It was such a positive experience that you didn't even want to come back to work.
Yes.
Because we might muddy it with negativity.
That's right. I did test out of caution. I was testing in Vegas, and I think we were on the show on Wednesday, and Dave's like, well, I think you've made it through. And I said, well, I had tested. I think my last test was Monday or Tuesday. Monday, I think I was out of tests. I'm like, well, I'm coming home Wednesday, and I'll test when I get home. And unfortunately, I saw the dreaded 2 lines, Jay. Now, fortunately, on my behalf, with some concerns here at the house for sure, family members trying to keep clear of this, I would say, I mean, I don't even know if I felt like I've had symptoms, but that doesn't matter. I know it hits everybody differently, but I was positive for COVID, unfortunately.
Well, I'm glad you're asymptomatic. I'm glad the people around you are healthy because I was obviously symptomatic. Dave was symptomatic. It sucks, dude. So
and I was worried that, I talked to Dave a lot over this. I'm like, uh-oh, like it's coming then. Like I just felt like something, but knock on wood, fortunately, and it's been since last Wednesday, I guess. So
you've got quite the immune system, Jason Ross.
I don't know. That's what all the
do you take your Flintstone vitamins every day?
You know what? I think I had the power of Vegas. There's just a different kind of immunity you need to have there.
Yeah, no, if you don't, your pelvic floor will be activated in the wrong way.
Yes. Some people rub the slot machines.
Oh.
Yeah, I needed to fill that sentence in quickly, didn't I?
Yeah.
You just never know how that can help your immunity.
Jason, what the hell?
I have no idea where I'm going with that.
I don't either, but it's not a good place.
It's not. An important off-air conversation we had that I was surprised there was an empty answer from you because I felt like there was more. I was reading something on Twitter that someone said, I have never worn Crocs. And then I said, JayMarZZ, have you ever worn Crocs? And you said, what?
Well, Isaiah wears Crocs. Isaiah loves Crocs.
Okay.
But Isaiah's also 6.
Yeah, that's fine.
But Alexa's for years tried to get me to wear them. I just refuse. Number one.
Why is there such a negative connotation? I don't have them. I've never. Okay, but that's what it is. That's the negative connotation. But some people wear them with pride.
Well, and I've never put them on my feet. So I cannot say I've had the experience of a Croc. However, I'm told they're like the most comfortable shoe on earth. But when we first got together, Alexa had a pair of purple ones, bright purple. It looked like Barney the dinosaur. I made her toss them.
Okay.
I'm like, dude, you cannot be a grown adult wearing these. Like, if you want to go get a different color, that's fine. I'll, swallow that.
So it was a color thing, not even the shoe itself.
It was both. It was the combination of the bright purple on a Croc. I just couldn't deal with it. And, now she's, she does the Birkenstock thing, which is fine. It's more grown anyways.
Right.
But yeah, dude, Crocs, I can't bring myself to do it. But here's the big thing why is 2 reasons. Number one, it's like, I feel like putting Crocs on my feet will officially make me dad. And I still fight that sometimes. And then number 2, like, dude, I'll probably end up really liking them. And I don't want that.
Yeah. That's your fear is I may like them. I might have to wear them, and they truly are the world's most comfortable shoe.
You hit it. My fear is that I will like them, and I know I will.
And then you won't be able to handle the shame.
Do you have Crocs?
I do not. I'm not anti. I'm not for. I just never have had them. I doubt I'll ever get them.
You're a Croc.
And maybe it would have to be one of those situations where someone that I knew had them, and I put them on and go, oh, wow, they are comfortable. Or I just will never get them, which is probably more likely. I have slides, and I know those aren't the same, right? Where you just kind of slide your feet in.
I have slides too. I got my dude. I love my slides.
Those are perfect. Like, I go run and get the mail. Like, Jay, I got to protect my soft, supple feet.
Oh yes, they're very versatile.
Yes, then you just slide it in. You go to the mailbox, or you go to take the trash out, whatever it might be, or you just quick
innuendo there.
quick walk outside. And you're good to go.
There it is.
There you go. Last night or yesterday, early morning, one of my, I would say it's been my least favorite major in golf just because of the time difference, but it was nice to wake up yesterday morning and the Open, the 150th Open was wrapping up. It was coming down to the final few holes, and the back nine turned into the Cameron Smith show. He's been good at these majors here recently. A lot of people had him predicted to win the Open. But when Rory McIlroy got off to a good start through Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, it sure was looking like the fan favorite was going to get another major win. It's been, 8 years since he won before. And what's interesting is Rory, I don't know why he's become so popular for everyone. I just personally like him. And again, Jay, we never really know these people, but we get to know them through their media efforts. And I just feel like Rory is, I don't know, authentic, honest, likable.
He's very honest anytime he talks. And then you add in an accent, it makes it like 10 times better.
Yeah.
You can laugh at that, but no, it's really cool. No, I was rooting for Rory.
Yeah. And go ahead.
I was going to say, but there was one other person I was rooting for, and it's not for the reason you would think.
Who's that?
I was rooting for Dustin Johnson.
Okay, you need to
just
explain
because
that.
I wanted the chaos of a live golfer.
Okay.
Because I feel like that would have been the story, right?
That would have definitely become one, because that's, now there's like the two factions, and Rory's been very open about that. Not a fan of those golfers that have chosen to go for the live tour. And Dustin Johnson was out there and he was in contention. He was in the top 5, kind of melted down at the end. But yeah, they would have definitely made headlines out of that. That's for sure.
That would have been the headline. It would have been completely all over the place that a live golfer won the tournament. And I guess the chaos I was really rooting for there wasn't so much the headlines. I feel like once a live golfer, Jason, wins a major, then the PGA is going to really start trying to put pressure on these, outside majors like the Masters, like the Open, to exclude live golfers. Like, I think they're going to be fine until they win one. Once a live golfer wins a major, all hell's going to break loose.
Well, and I don't know if there's obviously going to be more discussion on this. The live tour trying to get their players in the world golf rankings and keep them there, if that can happen. This was kind of burst onto the scene this year, and it happened right before, the U.S. Open, I guess. And so golfers were allowed to play. But I don't know if they're going to make a decision on that going forward. But I think, Rory being honest about that, and then you could just, I don't know, you could feel Rory's emotions. Like,
sure.
He's genuinely frustrated with himself. He was not upset. He was saddened. You could just, he looks like he's just sad that he didn't win. And you could feel that. And then he's gracious enough to talk to the media afterwards. And he was very complimentary of Cameron Smith. Didn't feel like he did poorly, but knows he had a missed opportunity, talked about how close he's been all year. And that's the thing when you are measured on majors, and Rory's had a fantastic year in the majors, but unless there's a win in there, Jay, it's for those guys, it's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, it's really, once you're in that upper echelon of golfers, finishing the top 10 is nice because, hey, you get no matter what, you finish in the top 10 in majors, you are getting a hell of a payday, number one. And to finish top 10 in one of the 4 biggest tournaments in the world, Jason, it's really hard to do. How many guys did we see, just look at the Open itself. How many guys missed the cut? Tiger Woods, the greatest golfer of all time. I don't even think that's arguable at this point, misses the cut. You have a guy like Brooks Koepka, misses the cut. Yep. Again, these are very hard tournaments to not just win, but finish in the top 10. But when you get into that superstar level, because Rory McIlroy by golf standards is a superstar.
Oh, for sure.
It's win or bust at that point, and that has to do a lot to you mentally, I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah, because again, I think at the end, I don't think Rory's going, boy, I'd love a top 5 finish. Rory's going there thinking I'm going to win, and maybe there's reflection later and says, I also look at Rory, it took a historic back 9, a 20 under to win the tournament. Rory, the other one I feel for is the American Cameron Young, who was great.
He's played excellent.
And he eagles 18.
Mm-hmm. Ties it.
Technically into a tie. There was a short putt for Smith to basically win it. But you're thinking, man, I did everything to put a chart. And, I had a guy here have a historic back 9, but I'm right there with him, trying to get my first major. Now, he may be in a little bit different spot because he's never won one. This may be his best chance, but this is his first taste of it. Now, Rory's in a different mindset where it's like, yeah, I don't care that I was close. I'm here to win. And everything else is disappointing, even though his game was good all week.
Yeah, it was. And 8 years when you're at that level, like we said, it mentally has to take a toll on you. That has to factor in at some point. And I would hate, we look at this now and 10 years from now, Rory never wins another major. It's conceivable.
Of course. Yeah. If you look at the major winners in 2022, Scheffler got his first. Justin Thomas won another one, but still he was a winner this year, needed a playoff to do it, and probably should have been Will Zalatoris to win there, or could have been. Fitzpatrick wins his first, and then Cameron Smith yesterday. So those are new names who may win 5, who may never win another one. A lot of the tournament was to talk about St. Andrews, of course, Tiger and his his last trip there. I know they're going to play, I think it's 2030. And Tiger even said
Tiger's what, 46?
Yeah. He'll have the exemption. He'll be able to play forever. Sure. It's just, will he want to? And I don't know that Tiger's going to be a guy that just shows up to do the honorary tee off and then just kind of, I'll play and shoot my 85. Like, Tiger's going to play. He wants to win. And Rory was even thinking about it. He's like, I should be back here in 2030, but you just never know how the world goes, and it's such a historic place there in St. Andrews.
Yeah, and you really got the vibe from Tiger that was his last time at St. Andrews, at least to play in the Open, because I can't imagine Tiger at 54 is still going to be competitive in that sense. So no, and you saw it, walking down 18. He's
so awesome.
Everybody just kind of stops and applauds. And Tiger is a guy that, I don't want to say Tiger doesn't have emotion. He just doesn't really show it often.
But he did.
And when those tears started flowing, that's when you knew you were watching one of those moments.
Yeah. I forget who was with him. I know Max Homa was one of the golfers. There was another one. I can't remember exactly. Or Fitzpatrick, I think. And they both said, yeah, it was like they were honored to be on the, they just let him go and they let him have the shine, but it was like a movie, and just to see the iconic moment and the gesture by the fans was truly great. All right, let's do it. We have to grade the Kings summer. And why does Kyrie Irving continue to do these Kyrie Irving things? We got 3 for madness. It's on deck.
Breaking news, the latest happenings with your favorite teams.
You ever wonder about what the heck all these kids are doing on computers all the time?
Stay up to date with all of it by following us on Instagram and Twitter.
Excuse me, gentlemen, a little update for you.
At Sactown 1140.
This is Monster Jam, the official Monster Truck Series. Witness the world's best drivers competing in your favorite Monster Jam trucks, like Gravedigger, Megalodon, and more. Who's ready for more racing? Witness exciting head-to-head competition. Be part of the action. Let's hear it. Make some noise. Tickets on sale now. Returning to Golden One Center August 5th through 7th. Opening night tickets start at $15. Restrictions and additional charges may apply.
5X480, Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching, but a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Question 1.
All right, we got 3 for Madness coming your way here in moments. Lots of Kings discussion straight ahead. Jason Ross, JayMarZZ. Jay, this might be specifically for you from the text line. Hey, guys, I hated Crocs too, but then I found some Adidas Crocs, and it was life-changing. They're so comfortable. Wow, they went with life-changing.
See, I would be the same as him. I already know I would like them. So, no, I'm going to just be that guy.
The fear of having your life change for the better is too much for JayMarZZ.
Yes, not a fan. Okay.
Not a fan of having your life better.
I got a lot of things going on right now. I can't sit there and become a Croc stan.
Yeah. What if you just became all of a sudden where every day you're purchasing new Crocs? You've got thousands of Crocs. It could become a problem, Jay.
Yeah, it could become.
You're just avoiding it.
Here's the thing: if Crocs wants to sponsor this show,
now we're
I
onto
will
something.
endorse Crocs because,
Yes.
Jason, as you know, I'm kind of a whore. I'll endorse anything.
Yeah, well, why not?
If there's a talent fee and a free pair involved, then we can have a discussion. But
Yeah.
I'm not just going to sit here and like Crocs for free.
I'm for it. I think JayMarZZ should be the new spokesman for Crocs, and then everybody on the show gets Crocs. Everybody listening gets Crocs.
All Crocs.
You get
all day.
Crocs. You get Crocs. Everybody gets Crocs. All right, let's do it. It is time for 3 for Madness.
Can we like get like different things sponsored though, like the Crocs studio?
Yes.
We get the Crocs has their own show for an hour.
Absolutely.
Times.
We
All
got
right.
all that. What do we got on 3 for Madness?
Well, Jason, as you know by the weather outside, it is summertime.
I know.
But let's go ahead and give a summer school grade to the Kings Summer League. What would you give them?
Are summer school grades different, or are they the same? They still
Yeah,
same?
summer school grades are so much easier to get.
Oh, so we're like easy grading. Our teachers
Yes,
aren't even really paying attention.
100%.
We don't even know if the students showed up at class.
Nope. It's so much easier. I'm just telling you from experience. So much easier to get a good grade in summer school from years of doing it.
Summer school, by the way, has kind of a negative connotation, but this just in, it's the scam. Do it.
Mhm.
If you need extra, like,
dude,
I didn't, going into my last year of college, which was last year. No,
Shut
it
up.
was,
Some of us are actually doing that.
It was smart to take, like, I don't know, it just goes quicker, less people around. I mean, knock out a ton of units.
Yep.
Like, I honestly wish I had done that earlier.
Dude, a quarter of my total units will have come from summer school.
It's brilliant, Jay.
It is.
I mean,
It's just
really smart.
Because, and like I said, I'm telling people this. I don't know if I'm supposed to say, but professors grade easier. Take summer school classes, kids.
Okay. So on that note, we're grading easier on the Kings. Actually, I think Summer League's been great. Let me see. I'll try to be as authentic. I'm going to go B+. Maybe that's not even nice enough. Because they played well. The most important parts are certainly Keegan Murray.
Mhm.
And I know people are getting excited about Keon Ellis and Nimi Keita, and I think they provided some things to be excited about. I just don't think the overall, there's not a whole lot of other stuff that I think are going to be truly impactful of the 2022-2023 Kings. The other part that I grade nicely, though, Jay, yes, it's Summer League. You have to coach your roster. But I like what the coaches did. They were mixing in zone and full court pressure and just different things. I'm like, yes, this is exactly why you do this. Keita was doing a few things differently than I think he had done in the past. Like, he wasn't just, hey, go park it on the block and be there. Like, he was trying to facilitate the offense. So, I don't know. B+ may not be as generous as it maybe should be. But, I mean, Keegan was fantastic. And, yeah, I'll give the Kings
Jason
a B+. How about you?
You are a tough summer school grader.
I'm a soft – I go the other way. Like, when people – I'm a nicer grader in the regular year.
See,
the summer school, I got to make people pay.
Summer school, give the Kings a solid A-, even though that's not solid. I give them an A- because here's how I look at Summer League in a nutshell. What did your potential NBA players do? The Kings could have gone 0-6. It doesn't really matter. I know there's rings if you win, blah, 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 blah. But here's what happened, all right? Keegan Murray, to me, is the MVP of the Summer League. So that checks the nice box. He looks like he is going to have a fine rookie season. Don't know if he'll be rookie of the year because a guy named Paolo Banchero in Orlando, I think, is going to have. I think he's going to get plenty of touches on that Magic team to put up some numbers. I don't know about you. And then secondly, you look at what are the other potential NBA players or two-way players on the team and what did they do? I thought Keon Ellis had a fine summer league.
Mm-hmm.
I think he will, the Kings, and we're going to talk about this here pretty soon. They rounded out kind of the rest of their roster, but I think he's going to be a guy that's going to do good in Stockton. And then we'll probably get a little, he'll get some time up here and there. And then Nimi Keita looks like he has improved a lot from last year. So your two-way guys looked pretty decent, and your number 4 overall pick was the MVP of the league. The only thing preventing it from being a solid A was them winning the title. So no, to me, it was an A-. I thought they were great.
Yeah, good summer, I would say for sure for the Kings. All right, question 2.
Question 2.
The Home Run Derby is tonight. Over the years, what is your favorite memory from the Home Run Derby?
I think that, by the way, baseball does a good job with this. There have been different iterations, but I think they've kind of got it now down to a good metric. I still, I don't think I'm old enough yet, Jay. I haven't crossed that benchmark yet, but I still want to be in the outfield for one of these home run derby. I just want to be out there. Honestly, I want to try to rob a home run, which would not be cool, but it's usually the, 85 kids that are out there all bunched up in one spot trying to get in front of some screaming line driver. Like, no, don't catch that.
I want to see you in the outfield, and there's, a guy hits a routine fly ball, and the camera is just panned onto some little kid who's like 8 about to
get out of the way.
And Jason just comes in and trucks him.
Yeah, my ball. I got it. Hey, I called it. What's wrong with that?
And then you point and laugh at him.
Yeah.
I
Put
need
on
that.
Some Crocs, kid.
You would go viral if you did that, by the way. That would make headlines.
I think it would be worth it.
I do too. It'd be good. It'd be good promo for Sactown Sports 1140 to show our new brand is much more aggressive.
Yes, and it's in Southern California. We can make a quick trip down there tonight.
I think Scott Marsh is still trying to get down there for the All-Star game tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun. That would be fun. Josh Hamilton sticks out. I think he had that one round where he hit some absurd number, like 28 home runs. I don't know. I mean, the weird thing about the home run derby is someone may lose in the derby, but hits the longest home run of the night. But I don't know, Junior with his hat backwards,
Junior
is a beautiful swing.
Yeah.
I think it's something about lefties too, whether it was Josh Hamilton, King Griffey Jr., those guys that it just looks so beautiful when they're crushing home runs.
So one of my favorites, and it's kind of, underscored because who the player was, speaking of lefties, do you remember when Bobby Abreu, I believe he was still with the Phillies, came in there and just couldn't not hit a home run.
Yeah.
And then the ironic part about it was, and he had a great first half of the season, has that amazing home run derby where he is just hitting home run after home run after home run, couldn't hit for the life of him the second half of the season. But my early home run derby, just because it's the home run derby is it's like the dunk contest for me. It's very nostalgic. So the early ones for me were Griffey. And then Frank Thomas, I want to say it was like 94, 95, somewhere in there, maybe 96. I can't remember the exact year, but like watching Frank Thomas hit home runs, like he was doing it, Jason, like one-handed.
Yeah.
Like Big Hurt was such a masher in his day. So that one sticks out to me a lot.
What's so great about the event too is like, I think we can name a lot of the greatest home run hitters of the last 20 years, and they've been in it. Right?
Yes.
It's not like, hey, LeBron's never been in a dunk contest, or some of these guys that you want to see in a dunk contest haven't been there. But yeah, Bonds, Griffey, McGuire, Sosa, Ryan Howard, current guys now that are just, mashing all the time. I think a great one was in Florida. It was when Stanton was a Marlin and Judge was a Yankee. That was a really good one. But yeah, just you want the icons of the sport doing it. And I think that's what's been great about the home run derby. Not everyone, I would say, is in the field of 8 tonight, but it's a really good field. They got a mixture of young guys, veterans, and just mashers. So
no, you got your young mashers in there with Soto and Alonso. Those are big names. Jose Ramirez has become a name. Corey Seager obviously is a big name. The one I'm really looking forward, though, to seeing, and I'm obviously rooting for, is Albert.
Yeah.
You got to root for Grandpa.
Seed. Yeah. I mean, he's in Dodger Stadium again. Going against Schwarber, who's got, I think, 30 or 29 at the break here. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. Sorry, Schwarber. Nobody's rooting for you, at least in the first round.
Yeah, and your name's Kyle.
Yeah, exactly.
We're rooting for Albert.
Yes, we want King Albert. All right, question 3.
Question 3.
King Albert, just another great reference this morning. LeBron James puts on a show at the Drew League 11 years after his first appearance. Meanwhile, Kyrie Irving no-shows. Is Kyrie one of the most frustrating athletes out there right now? Can I make an amendment to that question?
Oh, sure.
Is Kyrie Irving the most frustrating athlete out there right now?
He's got to be. And I think the only reason he would not be, to me, is if you're more like me and Kyrie. Like, I don't care enough about him to maybe get him to make me frustrated, but I would be frustrated at that situation if I heard Kyrie was coming and I was going to watch him.
Yes.
And so I have nothing against Kyrie, let's say, but I'm not the biggest fan of his. And it's stuff like this, I mean, is it a deal breaker? No. But Jay, he's always on the list of things like this happening too. So he's supposed to be there and opts not to show. The vaccine thing or whatever. It's his right. He chose, but you deal with the ramifications. He's just different. He's quirky. He's odd. And that's okay. I generally appreciate that. But I don't know. It feels like a lot of his come off on sour notes. It just doesn't hit right a lot of times for me.
Yeah. And, you kind of hit the whole spectrum of Kyrie there. But the one thing that just bothers me is, the vaccine thing was one thing. Right. And that one doesn't even stick out to me as his worst because, the vaccine, there's so many different opinions out there on that. And at least I'll say this for Kyrie, he kind of stuck to his guns on that. So there's a part of me that respects it. Don't agree with it, but I respect that you stuck to your guns on it. It's the missing 2 weeks at a time. And then when you ask, we don't know. Kyrie's just kind of gone. Or like the Drew League, for instance. Now, again, it's just a summer league thing. Right. It's its own thing. And the Drew League is legendary. But it's the idea that you commit and then where's Kyrie? Don't know. It's like, and that's just it, right? Kyrie is a top 10. Some would argue from just a pure talent standpoint, a top 5 talent in the NBA. And it's just so much unrealized potential, number one. I guess the thing that really bugs me about Kyrie, though, is how he doesn't understand why people get frustrated with him. Like, he just seems to be so, like, can't understand why. And it's like, bro, come on. Really? Like, dude, if you're a teammate of Kyrie Irving, there's a reason why, Jason, he has no trade market right now. None. The only team interested in him is the Lakers because they just want to get off of Westbrook.
Exactly. And they have different agenda there. I think they got to realize, and he's probably starting to realize, man, I may actually be a Brooklyn Net. Right? I mean, that's the reality.
Right now, that's where it's trending.
Yeah. And, I think he might even be the type of person that's like, well, LeBron could have no-showed and he would have gotten, no, he would have got grief, but he didn't no-show. He showed. Like, that's the thing. You chose not to be there.
Kyrie is great about whataboutisms.
Right. Right. Exactly. So there you go. There's 3 questions, 3 answers. That was 3 for Madness. All right, the Kings. Let's get into some Kings conversation. They've had a couple of new additions over the weekend. What kind of impact can those new names have? We've got that when we come back.
Hey, you want easier access to the content you care about? You now have it. Sactownsports.com. A new way of covering the sports you love. A new digital world. The best and most expansive coverage of your local sports. Online at Sactownsports.com.
Rate and the purchase markets are doing this thing and that thing. Shelby, as I always say, you're the captain of the ship that gets everybody through those waters. What's going on over at United Wholesale Lending?
We are heavily focused on purchase business right now.
This is the time of year, I know. You would think more people go and see houses, but how is that working as opposed to rates scaring people? Are we still seeing that huge influx of people going out there?
Well, there's some more inventory that's coming onto the market, and the market is shifting from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Even with the interest rates going up, now the market is kind of softening up and making it easier for home buyers to get their offer accepted and also to get a better deal.
You can pre-approve them on the phone in under 15 minutes without even running their credit. But what you also do is you give them the exact things they need to knock out personally so that they can get into homes.
That's exactly right. We create a roadmap to get them in the position to buy a house.
RefinanceWithShelby.com. That's RefinanceWithShelby.com. NMLS number 279051. BRA number 01864354.
MVP's bonus days are here for pros. For 12 days, pros save big and MVPs get even more. Because MVP's Pro Rewards members can earn bonus points to redeem for rewards. Earn points on every dollar spent up to $1,000 and get up to 3 times more points when you shop select brands and products. Find MVP's bonus day savings from July 11th to the 22nd in-store and online. Exclusively at Lowe's. Exclusively for pros. MVP's Pro Rewards program subject to program terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/L/Pro Loyalty terms. Subject to change.
When you bundle your renters and auto insurance with Progressive, you could save money, but it doesn't cover any terrible memories living rent-free in your head.
Hey, just wanted to remind you of that time your kicker missed the extra point and lost the game. Even though he literally never missed an extra point, he chose this playoff game to miss. Yeah, I just noticed you hadn't thought about that in a bit. Wouldn't want you to miss, thinking about it.
Sorry, we can't save you from that memory, but we could save you money bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Renters insurance and bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Hey, kids, it's Carmichael Dave talking to you about Capital Casino. Summertime heat is here, and Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite all of you to soak up some air conditioning, hang out, have some food, have a beverage. Always the most variety of table games in the region. Always the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Text or call the show at 916-339-1140. On Sactown Sports, 1140.
Shout out to all of you that are checking us out this morning on YouTube. We got Paul, Zebra, Barnbaum, Tim. Tim is in there. Timmy.
Tim, the only fan with a drop. That's how you know he's special.
Yeah. So I don't like his comments that he's putting on the YouTube chat.
All right, that's enough.
No, I like that.
Oh, one more time.
Timmy.
What would be a sounder for Paul?
What would be a sounder for Paul? I don't know. What would you go with?
Find a sound from a sport that nobody knows anything about except Paul. So I don't know.
Paul follows the less popular sports.
Paul, if the Ocho
contrarian?
if the Ocho was a thing that, like a paid subscription service, Paul would be the first one to sign up.
Nice. He does it differently.
Yeah,
his own drum.
Great way to put it, Jason.
Does it differently. Thank you, to all of you out there on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up button when you're down there. We appreciate that. Please, yes,
like
please.
Barnbaum in there patrolling this morning.
Oh, Barnbaum's trying to get it going. Barnbaum on the words per minute. He's getting it done today.
I think
we appreciate that.
I think you can put like 300 characters. Mike uses all of them each time.
Oh yeah,
chats.
Maximize. Yeah, more is more.
Yes,
in this case. You can text us as well at 916-339-1140. We appreciate all of you checking in there and all the different ways you could check us out here on Sactown Sports 1140. Jason Ross, JayMarZZ. Happy Monday to each and every one of you. It's July 18th. Where has the year gone? We just wrapped up the NBA Summer League. I guess congrats to the Blazers. Whatever.
Boo!
Yeah, you didn't play the Kings. So
nope, you got lucky.
Yeah, we'll see you in October.
Yeah. Will we? Do they know? I think they play Portland.
I don't know.
October. I
saw a couple of the I was doing a little preseason schedule digging. The Kings isn't officially out. I know there's 3 games I tracked down.
You are trying to find ways to pass the time, aren't you?
I am. No, there was a lot of isolation. Still in isolation here. So there's a lot of idle time. What did you do best in your idle time, Jay, when you were kind of quarantining yourself?
Sleep.
See,
I suffered from the COVID fatigue really bad.
Yeah,
that was my worst symptom.
And I will say I'm very thankful that I mean, to say symptoms are mild, I feel like you have to have symptoms, but I've had like basically nothing, because sleep makes the most sense when you're just passing the time in a room by yourself. But I'm like, yeah, I would sleep the night and then not maybe a nap every once in a while, but yeah.
Yeah, nah.
What do I do with my hands? Like, what do I do?
Dude, I was like, everyone's like, oh, you can binge a show or you can catch up on X, Y, and Z. I'm like, no, I can't because I can't keep my eyes open.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I did do? Then you were one of the few that'll appreciate, maybe a few others out there. I did get to some of my baseball card boxes.
Oh, nice.
And doing a little stuff I hadn't seen in forever, organizing. I'm like, oh man, I haven't looked at these in years, some of these things and others more recently. And I was like, yeah, just going through this. Okay, that one. Oh, that's a nice card.
By the way, you have a package on my desk. I think it might be cards.
Oh.
Just let you know when you get back.
Okay.
There's something to look forward to other than my smiling face.
Oh, well, that's number 1, but number 2 will be the package. Hello. The Kings made a few more additions here to the offseason. Monty McNair's big moves, obviously, were to get Kevin Huerter, Malik Monk, the drafting of Keegan Murray. Trying to find out where these new faces and names are going to fit in, Jay. KZ Okpala signs a 2-year deal with the Kings. He's just 23. Should add defense and depth to the wing. He's been a member of the Miami Heat. He's got connections again to the Kings and really Mike Brown through the Nigerian national team. Wing depth, I don't know. I mean, I think defense is going to help, certainly. But, when you start to get into 14, 15, 16 players on your team, as much as we all go, oh, I like what Trey Lyles can bring, or Metu, or Okpala, at some point, Jay, you got to get to a point where guys aren't playing, and it's not a punishment on them. You want to be playing your best 6 to 7 the majority of the minutes. That 7, 8, 9 foul, situational, depth, 10 players. You start to get past that. All the guys can play. That's not the question. It's who should be playing, and there's going to be a handful that won't.
No, and if you're the Kings, and I think this is really any good NBA team has about a 9-man rotation, right? I think 10-man gets to be a little too much unless there's foul trouble. But realistically, if you're playing a 9-man rotation and keeping guys out of foul trouble, that's pretty much ideal. So what do these guys add? You said it's a depth piece.
Yeah.
But more so than the depth piece, easy for me to say. If we really want to get into it, what I like about these two signings, though, is you hear the same thing. They're young guys that the Kings still have a chance to develop. They're not going out there and signing, 36-year-olds to minimum deals just to fill out the rest of the roster. Guys that aren't going to play much. You might as well sign a young piece that has shown flashes of being able to do something. So I like the idea that they're bringing in young guys that they can A, potentially develop, and B, both of these guys can play defense. I like that for practice purposes because sometimes we forget it's not always about what you see on the court during a game with the 9-man rotations. It's who is pushing these guys at the end of the bench during practice. And I think when you got guys out there that can get out and D up and are going to be D'ing up your starters in practice every day, that's not a bad thing.
Right. We mentioned Casey Okpala, also Chima Moneki. I think I'm saying that right, but we'll know. I should get with Scott Marsh there because he played with UC Davis. The former Aggie played under Jim Les. He also played for Mike Brown, Luke Laux, Jordy Fernandez. They're all part of that Nigerian national team. So you've got those guys with that connection. And not only all of that, Jay, but you're talking about practice. It's competition. And when we're looking at, one of our debate topics last week was, hey, who starts at the 2? The point is there's 4 good candidates and they should be competing. I don't think it should be given to anybody. And that's where, it should pan out. You look at combination of practice and then the best results are shown in the game. A guy who gets it done is going to be hard to take off the floor. So competition is good. I think this team has a better roster going into the season, but that's all it is at this point. And that competition and the attention to detail and the coaching, whoever kind of grasp all that the best is the one that's going to earn the minutes.
Absolutely. And so again, these guys will all have a chance to fight for these minutes. I think we can kind of project what lineups will look like, but you never know. Guys get hurt and guys could have a good training camp and really stick out and get themselves some early minutes. We've seen that too. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Kings have one roster slot left open.
I believe you're right. I believe that's right.
Would you rather them convert a Keita or Ellis, or would you like to, fill that out with a minimum veteran guy?
Yeah, I mean, that's, probably what they might do here. And I think that you got to see what's still out there. It's see also if there's still, trade potential out there. I mean, I think the Kings are probably comfortable with this group going into camp, but probably surveying all things. And that's where Monty will have a better read on what's, the intel that's coming his way. But, kind of the way the roster is constructed, I feel like 3-4 is the one that needs to be addressed the most. But obviously when you sign Okpala, there's another guy there that gives you depth. And I think some people are going to be moving around. Maybe Herder gets some minutes in there. They do have more versatility and more guys that can play multiple positions, I would say.
And that's kind of a thing they've really lacked over the last several years. I mean, outside of Mo Harkless and Harrison Barnes, who could play multiple positions for them?
Right.
You really didn't have anything. De'Aaron is a point guard. Tyrese, I guess, could play both guard spots. But yeah, you never really had a lot of. You didn't really. Luke Walton never really had the potential to use a lot of guys in different roles because you just didn't really have that. But yeah, to your point, you look at the versatility on this team. Herder can play the 2 or the 3. Barnes can play the 3 or the 4. We'd like to think Keegan Murray can play the 3 or the 4 and even some small ball 5. They have some versatility there. They have a lot more length, Jason, on the wing than they've had in a long time.
Yeah, and then I think, we knew going into the offseason, and Monty addressed it himself, like they had glaring weaknesses in shooting. And that one, I think they attacked. Now, did they solve it? No, I don't think they solve anything, but I don't feel like it's better. Oh, by far it's better. I think and then you hope that the players that are returning are better at shooting, like Fox and Mitchell and Sabonis and, the guys that exist here. But you got guys that can shoot and shoot better. And Keegan Murray is going to be a really good shooter. Certainly Monk has gotten statistically better and had a good year last year, and Herter could shoot. So I think that's going to be an area more of strength. Defense is the one, Jay, that's just been pointed at for year after year after year. And I can't feel like there's not a bigger task than any on that than Mike Brown. Man. Like, it's all, to me, has been put on Mike Brown to make this team better defensively.
And it's crazy when you think of the task of making the team better defensively. Like, I think in our heads sometimes we look at a team that's like a really good defensively. Jason, if Mike Brown can make this team competent on the defensive end,
and that's all we're asking.
Competent, like 20th in the league. If they can be 20th in the league defensively and then a top 10 offense, which on paper they have the ability to do, this is a team that actually can make a real conversation about the postseason.
Yeah, which is, so desperate for the fans, for the organization to get there, but it's going to be incumbent on that defense getting better. Now, a guy that's going to be a key part of this team is Keegan Murray. We just got done watching his summer. Man, was he getting better and better and better. How good was Murray the past few weeks? The league has taken notice. We have too. We look at Keegan Murray's summer when we come back.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports 1140. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people that play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa. Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility, and Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality, and Safe Credit Union. Let us put you first.
I'm in the great outdoors doing a little Dodge watching with Vince Bloom, the big guy at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge.
Would you look at that?
Those are some pretty high-powered binoculars you got there, Vince.
Yeah, I use them to spot all the Lasher license plates on Ram trucks out there.
Well, there's bound to be a lot, because during the Make This the Summer event, you're offering $12,000 off MSRP on over 35 new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s.
That's a great deal. I know. Hold on. I see another one.
Another crew cab?
I think so.
Odds are it's another Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4. After all, $12,000 off MSRP means they start at only $38,940.
Ah, he's taking off.
You lose him, Vince?
Oh no, just another happy customer migrating back to Elk Grove Dodge.
Save $12,000 off over 35 new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s, starting at just $38,940.
Only at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge, the Elk Grove Auto Mall, and online at elkgrovedodge.com.
Includes $6,500 in California National Chrysler Capital Conquest and select inventory retail bonus cash. Must finance through Chrysler Capital OAC and have qualified vehicle for at least 30 days. Sample VIN 347916 ends 8122.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives are spent sleeping? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more, Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Welcome to Lowe's Summer Savings. Find great deals across the entire store and check out the back aisle for savings you can't pass up. Get up to an additional $500 off now on select major appliances. Or snag our Allen & Roth Harlow Brush Nickel Widespread Faucet. Was $99, now $79. Enjoy great savings all summer long at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Appliances in-store must ask cashier to apply discount at time of purchase. Online must enter applicable promo code at checkout. Savings vary based on purchase amount. While supplies last, about 7/14 through 7/20.
New message.
What up? What up? It's Heather's cousin. You dated her in college, or maybe you were just in the same class. Anyway, I heard you bought a boat, my man. Let's hit the water. Oh, and Heather told me you always liked snacks and stuff, so I could totally bring some chips.
When you get a boat, you also get new friends. Make sure Progressive's one of them and get coverage today for as little as $100 a year.
Hey, also, I'm a little short on cash, so can you cover the chips? Thanks. I can see why Heather liked you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
Greetings, Sacramento. It's Doug Christie here with the Good Feet store asking, when was the last time you did something nice for your feet? If you're like most people, your feet get attention only when there's a problem. That can mean something painful, maybe real painful, like plantar fasciitis. That was me. I counted on my feet to make a living, but ignored them until almost too late. Fortunately, I found the Good Feet store, got my free personalized fitting and test walk, and in 20 minutes, I left with my expertly fit Good Feet 3-step arch support system. The pain was no more, and my feet have never felt so comfortable. I'm a Good Feet believer, and you can be too. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, and Modesto. Online at goodfeet.com.
Got a take? Make sure it's a hot one.
Take a shot right now.
Call or text at 916-339-1140. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
All right, back here on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Jason Ross, JayMarZZ, hanging out here on this Monday, July 18th. All week long. That's right. Dave's on vacay. He'll be back next week. Text line, YouTube, those of you checking in on the text line. Let's see. Love the moves Monty is making, and I love the fact that he hasn't missed on any of his first-round draft picks. Well, I would caution on that because we always like to say, hey, look, as great as Keegan Murray has been, and he's been fantastic this summer. It sure seems like he hasn't missed. But in all fairness, if Keegan was struggling, we'd say, hey, look, I mean, it's summer league. You know,
you got to fire Monty.
You got to wait and see how he does when the regular season comes around. Or better yet, I don't know, give the guy a couple of years. So in fairness, though, Keegan's been fantastic, Jay. I mean, reality is it will matter how he plays in the regular season. But the parts that we've seen, I look at a guy that looks comfortable, beyond his years, poised, mature. He got more aggressive, too, as Vegas went along. And that was the thing that I marveled at the first two games seeing him in person is he really lets the game come to him in a way where he's super patient, but it doesn't mean he's invisible. And there's guys that you can watch that go, man, they just kind of float. I don't really feel like they're doing anything in the game, where he may not have any statistics sometimes, but his impact is felt. I don't know how many times he would tip a rebound that he didn't grab as a stat, but to a teammate, or he made one extra cut that set up a play that it was like the hockey assist. And I'm just more excited, Jay, about him playing with even better players. That I think he's going to – his stats won't be as good as the summer, but his impact could be even larger. I just think he gets it, and I love that about Keegan.
Well, I want to go back to what you just said about how he's always involved, whether it was tipping a rebound, making the extra cut, making an extra pass. I feel like those are the things that are going to stick out in his rookie year at the NBA level, mostly because I think it's pretty safe to say this team is going to kind of go as De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis go. So, but they need a guy that's going to make his presence felt in other ways.
Right.
And that to me is what he does so well. Is he's going to hit the basket when you need him to. If one of those guys if they got guys in foul trouble and they need Keegan to grab a couple extra baskets, he's not going to be afraid to take extra shots during a game.
Right.
Here's two things that stuck out to me the most. Number one, he's so even keeled and doesn't show emotion one way or the other. I even saw Dave put this on Twitter and I completely agreed. And I laughed because it's true. You saw it in I think it was the Phoenix game where he hits that turnaround three at the to end the quarter.
At the buzzer, yeah.
And then it's like he's just like, yep, that's supposed to happen.
Yeah, the bench goes nuts and he doesn't do anything.
And then there was the other one where he just hits a three right in a guy's eye and immediately is getting back on defense and playing really good defense. And it's like, how many times have we seen it over the years? And Buddy was the worst at this. Hit a shot. And it felt like Buddy stayed on that side of the court after he made his basket.
Right.
It was nice to see that. And then going back to it, it's just the idea, Jason, I couldn't find really a hole in his game. There were things he needs to, work on, but what NBA player doesn't? But was there anything that stuck out to you watching him where you're like, man, he just doesn't do that well?
Right. I agree. I mean, now you're nitpicking. I would feel like when sometimes when he drove, I thought like there was a little bit of vulnerability with the basketball. Maybe he got picked a couple times. But again, there's other people defending you and other pros that he'll get better at. I really loved, I think it was the second game they played the Pacers. He took like 12 threes and made 4 or so or something like that. But then the next game, he was like, yeah, I realized I didn't think I had taken that many threes. And then it's like, okay, I watched film. I talked to the coaches. I think he credited Doug Christie saying, be more aggressive early. And then next game, I mean, he had like 10 points all at the basket right away. And so I think he's got a really good read on his own game. And I don't think he's going to be the kind of guy that gets in long slumps or droughts or has areas, because I think he self-polices pretty well. In the 7 games in the summer, what was it, just under 22 points per game. I love that he shot 50%, hit 41% of his threes, 84 from the line. We'll find out today if he's the Summer League MVP, but he's certainly one of the candidates for it. And Jay, just like to your point too, like he belongs. I even look at the game with Paolo. I mean, it was a great game, and I just love the fact that watching it in person, you got the feeling that Paulo was very well aware that a lot of people were there to watch him.
Yes.
Now, there are a lot of people there to watch Keegan, and Keegan just plays. Like, Paulo may have the dunk. He had that 360 dunk in transition, had a nice baseline dunk. And so, like, the ooh and ah right away is like, oh, man, Banchero's getting the best of Keegan. And by the end, you're like, yeah, they basically had the same point. I mean, he picks his time. He finds he's not going to, oh, you scored 7 straight points on me. Well, I'm going to show you. He just gets you when he gets you, and he's not going to rush into anything. You're not going to dictate the terms to him, which is what I love.
What I like about Keegan is he definitely has that vibe that 2 points is 2 points. And you remember that game, Banchero had that breakaway dunk that just brought the crowd to its feet. Keegan Murray strikes me as the type of guy that will never attempt to dunk like that, because he's like, why do that when I could just lay it up?
Right.
2 points.
Or make sure that I dunk it. Yeah. In whatever way I can't miss it.
Right. And it just goes back to that, the comparison we see, the Tim Duncan comparison, right? It's just the guy is just super solid at whatever he does. He's not flashy. He's not going to be on SportsCenter top 10s likely. Although if he keeps hitting freaking turnaround 3-pointers and buzzards, he might accidentally make it on there. Because I feel like that's Keegan Murray's game, right? If he's ever on a SportsCenter top 10, it was not on purpose.
Right.
He was not doing that with the intent on making a highlight reel play. It just, that's how it happened. So, and I think one thing that's going to really benefit him, Jason, is going into this season, because a lot of the expectations are on Fox and Sabonis, which they should be.
Yep.
And other guys like Herter and Barnes. I don't feel like there's going to be a ton of pressure on Keegan to go out there and have a just dynamic rookie season. I think he's going to be able to just go out there and kind of fit in and play his game.
You know what? It's so true. And I think that's a rare spot to be in, especially for a lottery team and a team that's been in the lottery for 16 years. Generally, when you're picked as high as he was at 4, a lot of those other spots, Jay, like Banchero, Chet Holmgren, Jabari Smith, like save our franchise, save us.
Yes.
Where Keegan can do it, but not in the same way where it's like, hey, be the leading scorer this year, be an all-star by year 2 or 3. Like, it's the team is going to go as Fox and Sabonis goes. He's going to be a big part of this, but he's not put in the spot where he's got to save this franchise. Right. And I think that's a great spot for him to be in. And the other part of this is, I mean, it's just been one summer. We've seen 6-7 games, not only based on where they drafted him, but we're ready. He's starting 4, right? Is there any mystery?
Yeah, no.
There's no mystery, right?
I mean, the only person he's really competing with for minutes there is Trey Lyles, unless Chimezie Metu comes into training camp and has just made the biggest leap of all leaps. But I don't anticipate that. And he's already better than Trey Lyles. Plus, I like Trey Lyles off the bench for just 15 minutes a game. I think he's perfect in that role. No, Keegan Murray is your starting power forward. He brings so much to that lineup. I'm really excited, Jason. And I know I'm getting ahead of myself here a little bit, and I'm already predicting Mike Brown's starting lineup for him, which I should not do, but I can't help myself. Just the idea of Fox and Sabonis out there with Barnes, Herter, and Murray, 3 long guys on the wing that all have that 40% or higher 3-point shot that can happen. This to me is just, when I look at Murray, I think he's just going to be able to just fill holes for this starting lineup. If someone's struggling from 3, he's going to be able to go out there and take the ball and shoot more. He's going to be able to bark on the defensive end and tell guys where to go. He's not going to be afraid to do that. And I think he has such a high basketball IQ. And that's the real thing I think that's going to make this team better is his basketball IQ.
Yeah, we get some good comments here. Great off-ball player. It's exactly what we need. Keegan is smart, analytical, and competitive. Monty-type players, mature, cerebral, and skilled. I agree. I mean, I think that the type that we've talked about with Monty, they come in NBA ready. I do like that there's a chip, but it's not one of those chip on your shoulders. You're like, oh, man, this guy's kind of tough to handle. It's a healthy chip that for whatever reason, these guys, whether it's been Halliburton, Mitchell, and now Murray have, and they use it as motivators. I think they're all hard workers. They're basketball guys. And I think people that are in the league know the difference. Like there's people that just come in and enjoy and are talented and enjoy the paycheck and not just playing for the money, but you have to really want to be great. And a lot of them, it just comes natural. Like, hey, I was the best in high school, grade school, high school, college. Yeah, I mean, I'm here. I'm in the pros. I'll get another contract. But like those that have that never-ending desire to just be the most that they can be, I think it's so healthy for you and for your team to have a lot of those guys.
Oh, God, no. You need guys that have that motor on there. We hear that word motor thrown around the league all the time. You need guys with the motor because not only are they out there trying to improve individually, obviously, to be the best that they can be, but when you get multiple guys like that on a team, the people around you start to up their game because they don't want to get left behind. Like nobody in that starting lineup, whether it's Fox, Herter, or, even Monk, if that's a thing, Barnes, Sabonis, none of them want to go out on a practice floor and be outworked.
Right.
They don't want to go out on a practice floor and have a guy like Keegan Murray making the smart plays while they're, not doing that. It's the old adage, right? Iron sharpens iron. And I think guys like Davion Mitchell, I think guys like Keegan Murray, those are those guys that make everyone else around them better. So I'm really excited to see what he does for the guys around him.
Yeah, and I think Keegan Murray's going to have some stat lines that maybe go similar to a guy like Tyrese Halliburton, where at the end of the game you go, okay, none of those stats are off the charts, but you go, man, where would they have been without Keegan Murray? And that's like a lot of times Jay Halliburton would have those games where you go, man, he had 8, 6, 6, and 4, but you're like, man, those 4 steals.
Yes.
And the 8 points, though, he had scored 4 in a row when they really needed him. It just, I don't know, the knack of finding those big moments, I think Keegan Murray will do a good job.
And it's not just that. You talked about his percentages. He was so efficient.
Yes.
And I think that's the big thing people should pay attention to. Don't really look at his points per game so much as what's his shooting line, because even if he's averaging 13 points a game, Jason, but he shoots 50, 40, and 80, like
Huge.
That's a big deal.
And he's going to be a low usage rate guy. And I think that's big when generally I think Fox and Sabonis are going to be high usage rate, and that's okay.
Yep.
You want your best players with the ball a lot, but if Keegan can still produce on less touches, now you hit something.
Oh,
That's something to be excited about. What else are you excited about? We're all anxious for this 2022-2023 Kings season. What excites you? What concerns you? We have our list next.
Breaking news, the latest happenings with your favorite teams.
Do you ever wonder about what the heck all these kids are doing on computers all the time?
Stay up to date with all of it by following us on Instagram and Twitter.
Excuse me, gentlemen, a little update for you.
At Sactown 1140.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise and the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback. And by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safeguarding discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Monday forecast starts out comfortably thanks to a little helping in the Delta breeze, but as that breeze flattens out in the afternoon, it's going to be hot with highs in the range of 101 to 103. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
New Kia inventory has been arriving at Folsom Lake Kia. Check out the deals on all the new Kia models. You can even buy with zero down with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your family-owned Kia dealership for over 20 years.
Safe Credit Union is local, in your community, and member-owned. Because members are shareholders, Safe's profits, they're reinvested in you. You get lower rates and higher dividends so you can save more and you'll reach your financial goals faster. Now, Safe's branch staff, they're knowledgeable and ready to serve, and in-branch appointments are always encouraged at safecu.org. When you need advice about the future, well, let Safe put you first. Join Safe and be a part of the credit union movement today at safecu.org. Safe Credit Union is insured by NCUA.
Folsom Chevy, where friends send their friends to buy, is celebrating their 30th year in business serving the Sacramento community. And that means big savings for you. If you're looking for a new gas saver, hybrid, electric vehicle, or something to pull your trailer or boat, they have an excellent selection for you to choose from. Before you go somewhere else and pay more, make sure to check out Folsom Chevy in the Folsom Auto Mall, or check them out at folsomchevy.com. And if you're looking to sell your vehicle, be sure to visit them as well. They're paying top dollar, and you don't even need to purchase a vehicle from them to sell them yours. Folsom Chevy, where friends send their friends to buy. Find new roads.
Rate and the purchase markets are doing this thing and that thing. Shelby, as I always say, you're the captain of the ship that gets everybody through those waters. What's going on over at United Wholesale Lending?
We are heavily focused on purchase business right now.
This is the time of year, I know. You would think more people go and see houses, but how is that working as opposed to rates scaring people? Are we still seeing that huge influx of people going out there?
Well, there's some more inventory that's coming onto the market, and the market is shifting from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Even with the interest rates going up, now the market is kind of softening up and making it easier for home buyers to get their offer accepted and also to get a better deal.
You can pre-approve them on the phone in under 15 minutes without even running their credit. But what you also do is you give them the exact things they need to knock out personally so that they can get into homes.
That's exactly right. We create a roadmap to get them in the position to buy a house.
RefinanceWithShelby.com. That's RefinanceWithShelby.com. NMLS number 279051. BRA number 01864354.
The flagship.
Ball game. Sacramento wins.
KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports 1140. The flagship station of your Sacramento Kings. It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone. When he's not on the microphone, he's playing a song. And when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Third and final hour for this Monday show. Jason Ross, JayMarZZ, Carmichael Dave on vacation this week. Thank you for checking us out here on Sactown Sports 1140. We continue our Kings discussion. We're getting some baseball. Juan Soto turning down a huge offer from the Nationals. Why the Giants need to get involved. We'll do that coming up in our next segment. But, Jay, we're excited. How is this year different? I don't know. I don't know the answer. I'm excited this year. Generally, I get optimistic and excited. There's been some years I've had more or less in that department. But based on the Kings offseason, and really if you go to the trade deadline last year, I think it started with the addition of Sabonis. And then we saw how well Fox played after that. That gives you encouragement. Those two did not play that many games together.
10, right?
Yeah, which is, and it looked good, but it can look even better with a full off season and those two guys really in a camp working together. A coaching change that always provides generally some excitement. The Kings have done that far too many times.
Yeah, I think we're past excitement with coaching changes in Sacramento, Jason.
Yeah. It needed to happen. I mean, obviously, I think that if you're looking at areas that I personally would question Monty on, I think he's done a great job. More things he's been on the right side of, but bringing back Luke Walton to start the year, I didn't have an issue with. I think firing him when they did was weird. I think you either should have done it before the season if you weren't all in on Luke, or wait for the season to end, but that's not what they chose to do. And it just made last year's season just kind of herky-jerky, and it just never really got going once they started that spiral downward. There's a couple win streaks here and there, but nothing that just got you excited for what the overall outcome could be.
And that spiraled downward. And it really started to me in game 10 when they lost to Indiana, which it was just after that. Remember that was coming off that big win against Charlotte. They were 5-4. It's like, all right, this team's going to be competitive this year. And then they lose to Indiana, go to 500, and it was just a stink fest from there. And prior to the deadline, Jason, you were at those games, and I went to, I think, maybe one or two prior to the Kings trading for Sabonis. Golden One Center was a ghost town. Like, there was just no vibe to it whatsoever because that team was so bad. It wasn't that they were just losing games. They were getting blown out every night.
Yeah, and it was a little bit difficult to understand because, again, we as much as this is why I got to say, how is this year different than last year? Because it's tougher to put yourself in the emotional feeling of what you thought going into the year, but I can give you the facts of going into last year. There was excitement because, of what Fox was going into year 5, the season Halliburton had after the jump. You still had Buddy Hield, but if he's coming off your bench and you're starting the other two, you've drafted a national champion and Davion Mitchell, not sure where he fits, but okay, you kept Rashawn Holmes. Remember, we all thought, man, I hope to keep Holmes, and they did. And Barnes was back. There were plenty of things to be excited for, and then it just never quite materialized. That's why I put out with caution, but I also think they have been more active, Jay, and I think a lot of the moves, and even being in Vegas, the word that came up the most around some of the national media and other people that I talked to there, they all kept saying this phrase, the moves the Kings are making make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And you just go, well, I'll take that. That's a compliment. That's not a rip and a negative statement, and doesn't mean they all could fall apart. But I think what Monty is doing made a lot of sense to a lot of people.
For sure. I mean, let's kind of go over the offseason real quick. The Keegan Murray draft pick makes a ton of sense.
But got questioned.
It got questioned, of course, but
yeah.
I feel like Murray being drafted wasn't the question so much as not drafting Jaden Ivey, right?
Right.
And there's still, Jaden Ivey could be a phenomenal player. That doesn't mean Keegan Murray can't be.
Exactly.
But Keegan Murray was, again, by far outside. If you take the Jaden Ivey part of that equation out of it, most pundits thought it was a good pick.
Yeah.
So you have that. The Malik Monk signing, again, the Kings needed shooting guard depth. They needed outside shooting. This is a guy familiar playing with De'Aaron Fox, coming off of his best year last year at the Lakers. It's 2 years and 18? Not a bad deal.
Right, great contract.
Makes sense. The Kevin Huerter trade. Yeah, you have to you lose a future first-round pick, but it's heavily protected, number one. And you traded 2 guys in Justin Holiday and Mo Harkless who just really didn't do much here, for a guy that you now have under control for 4 years, that had a really solid season last year and is going to play his role to a T. Go out, stretch the floor, score when we need you to, and is not a bad team defender. Again, makes sense.
Yep, it does. It does. And the fact that now when you look at the depth, that's what excites me, the versatility. The fact that, as we talked about earlier, the Kings making a couple more additions over the weekend, but there's going to be, I would say, a couple of decent players that aren't going to play. And we'll probably be doing that on shows where the Kings will have a loss and someone will text in or on our YouTube say, why they would have won is if they played insert player, Terrence Davis, Trey
Woodard.
Lyles. Right. Well, in the past, that was the problem. It was Robert Woodard. It was Kyle Guy. And no offense to those guys, but they really aren't these proven NBA guys. We're talking about, Terrence Davis was on the all-rookie team and has been good here. Maybe he doesn't play that much. Maybe it's, I'm trying to think even further down the line. Alex Len has been a professional. I mean, he's not some stud starting center in the league, but I mean, he's produced when he's been asked to play, and he's likely going to be on the outside.
And he's third on the depth chart right now at the center position, because you have Sabonis, who's going to be your starting 5.
Yep.
I think the big key is if Rashawn Holmes can be really good off the bench. That's the big question mark to me with this rotation. Like, a lot of those guys you can already see. You can already kind of predict, so to speak, of what their role is going to look like. How is Rashawn going to play off the bench, I think, is a big, big question mark.
Yeah, and in the past, it would have never been one, but based on last year was just so odd for him, and there's a lot of things going on personally, certainly health, COVID. Like, there was lots of different starts and stops for him last year. But I think now going into the year, Jay, I know players will always say this. Of course, Rashawn would rather be the starting center. Everybody would. But he knows he's not. And when you know that, and when it's identified, and Rashawn basically got to this point in the league because he mastered that bench role, whether he was a second backup or the third, no matter how, if he got 5 minutes to 15 to 25, he produced, and teams noticed. The Kings did. And then he came here and became the starting center. But now he's in a spot where he's going to have to be behind Sabonis, and they're going to look for numbers from him.
Yeah, and I think a big part of his success, too, was Tyrese Halliburton running that pick and roll with him, especially on the offensive side. I'm really curious now with Holmes coming off the bench and Davion Mitchell, as of right now, slotted as your backup point guard. Davion is not the distributor that Tyrese was. If Davion can figure that, two parts of Davion's game he really needs to figure out on the offensive side this year to really take that leap. Number one, can he be more of a distributor? Because he can handle the ball just fine, but distributing is not really his forte, so to speak. And if he can start hitting those catch and shoot threes, oh my gosh, you're talking about a potential super sub coming off the bench.
Yeah. What areas would you say, you mentioned that, but like other areas, maybe team areas that give you concern? We kind of talked about what excites us for the upcoming season. What concerns do you have for the upcoming season?
I mean, my concerns are really, can that Fox and the Ox, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis combination truly be put in there in the upper echelon of the duos in the NBA? Because on paper, you sure looks nice, right? Domantas has been a 2-time All-Star. De'Aaron last year after the trade deadline played like an All-Star, but De'Aaron's always struggled with that consistency, especially early on in the season. He's naturally a slow starter. The big concern for me is, can those two guys come out of the gates and play at an All-Star level? Because again, we've seen flashes of it, right? But have we truly seen it consistently, Jason? And can this be the year, especially for De'Aaron?
Yeah, and I don't know why he's had those slow starts. That's been kind of a thing for him, and there's no time for that. You just don't want to start behind. You want to be a team that surprises from the get-go, and I think a lot of the obstacles to me, Jay, seem like it's the West in general, and there may not be this super elite team, but the depth of the West the last couple of years, even while the Kings have shown subtle improvement, and it's just been baby steps, it hasn't been enough to even crack the top 10, and that's sad. And the last year I said it too, like the 10 was there, the 9 was there for the taking, and the Kings didn't take it. I mean, the Lakers were awful. There were other teams in disarray, and the Kings didn't take advantage of that. And now going in, there's probably 10 or more teams above them, at least to start in people's minds. So you can't be chasing the season like they seem to do the last couple of years.
Absolutely not. You got to come out and you got to be hot from the beginning, because when you look in the Western Conference, the only teams right now on paper that I think the Kings will be better than when the season starts is OKC. I think they'll be better than Houston. They're going to be better than San Antonio. I think the Jazz, if they end up trading Mitchell to New York, especially for that, platter of draft picks, they will be better than the Jazz. And, those are really the only 4 teams.
That's 11th. That's not enough.
Yeah. But again, so who are you competing with then over there? Is it Portland? Because I think the Kings have a chance to be better than Portland. I know there's a lot of talk about how they've kind of reworked that roster around Dame. I like Portland's roster. I don't think it's great. Like, it's good. It's a solid team, but I think the Kings on paper can compete with them. What are the Lakers going to do? Are they going to be at the back half of the Western Conference again? Because you look up top, the Suns should still be good, all things considered. Denver, I think now that they're healthy with Murray, they're going to be really good. The Clippers are back healthy. They're going to be really, it's going to be.
Warriors are the champs.
The Warriors are the champs. Yeah. We didn't even mention the damn champs. It's top heavy up there. You got to imagine Minnesota should be better on paper. New Orleans getting Zion back should be better on paper. I mean, the Western Conference, Jason, is stacked.
Yeah, Memphis was the 2 seed. I mean, there's a lot.
I didn't even
things.
mention the damn 2 seed.
Yeah, it just but then things do change. Like Memphis going all the way to a 2 seed from a play-in the year before. I mean, things can turn for a team for the better and for the worse. Kings haven't had for the better in forever.
And
but
Memphis is going to be without Jaren Jackson for a while, right?
Yes, for a couple months.
Yeah, that's key. He's kind of, they've looked at it. I mean, they have so many quality players on the team, but they really look at, if they're investing in 2 guys, it's Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson. If Jaren Jackson's missing the first couple months of the season, a team like the Kings, this is what you kind of have to, this is where you really have to, again, just stay consistent and try to win as many ball games early, because teams are going to get hurt. Guys get injured all the time. The Kings are going to have to deal with injuries too. But I don't know. Again, it's why you can't really predict how the season's going to play out, Jason, because we just don't know what injuries are going to look like.
Exactly. That's usually a huge indicator. Like one of these messages, can't worry about the other teams. It's out of your control. Focus on making your own team the best it can be and play the games. That's what, honestly, the Kings are doing. We're the ones looking at the other teams. But we'll see. We'll see how this all shakes out. All right, let's jump back into one of the top stories in sports. This guy is a stud. He's going to be on the move most likely. Juan Soto says no to the Nationals, but who will land the young stud and why it needs to be the Giants? We've got that coming up.
You wanted more Kings coverage? You've got it. More Niners, more Raiders, more NFL coverage than anywhere else in Sacramento. The best and most expansive coverage of your local sports. Sactown Sports 1140.
Kenny and Jerry here from Bell Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Have you ever had a plumber to your house to fix something and felt totally vulnerable when they gave you an estimate? Is it a fair price? Is the estimate even for the right thing? I mean, really, how would you even know?
Or have you ever gotten an estimate only to find out later that it didn't include everything, so you end up paying more than you thought? It's infuriating and frustrating. And if you ask me, it's totally unacceptable. When you call Bell Brothers for a plumbing problem, I'll make you a promise. No surprises.
Our technician will diagnose the problem right the first time. And the estimate you get is going to be the final price that you pay. Period.
No guessing, no surprises, and no funny business. Just a guaranteed price, up front, in writing.
For clogged drains or any plumbing problem, call Bell Brothers at 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The 94th most popular celebrity from Carmichael
How popular do you want to be?
meets a Celtics broadcasting legend.
Celtics are going to go for the win. Everybody here at Gold One Center on their feet.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
That's right. Longtime voice of the Celtics.
Jason
Long time.
Ross.
That was a unique experience, that's for sure. Back here on the show, Jason Ross, JayMarZZ. Happy Monday. Spent the last couple segments talking about your Sacramento Kings. It's going to be a little sad, a little hiatus, but, you know, Jay, the NBA's figured this out. I mean, we're done now for a few weeks, I would say. There's still some free agency lingering out there. And, of course, we still could have some of the biggest news in the sport to come with Durant, Kyrie, Donovan Mitchell. But basketball, I would say this next 4 to 6 weeks is about the quietest time, and then it's back. Like, it's –
Yep.
They've done a really good job of almost making this 12 months out of the year.
Yeah, no, and we can't wait to have it back with football. We were talking about this on Friday, me and Dave. It's like once you get into October, these shows write and produce themselves. You know, right now it's like every day it's like, okay, what are we going to talk about? Whereas 2 months from now, it's okay, what do we have to take off of the list?
Yes. Filtering out, it's like this the rundown's full. It's like, man, do we get enough of this sport? Should we hit that again? We get so much stuff, but it's a little trickier now, and it will be for the next few weeks. But there are stories, there are headlines out there. One of them, it may not ring as true to some here as it should, in my opinion. But over the weekend, Juan Soto of the Nationals, who we need to remind you how good he is, and I think baseball, as good as basketball has done at becoming, kind of every day and a national sport, baseball's turned more and more regional, which in some sense can be good for it. In other senses, it's not when your team's out. Like mathematically, the A's aren't mathematically out, but they're done. I mean, they're not having the season anybody would have wanted. The Nationals aren't that far removed from winning a World Series, but now they're one of the worst teams in baseball again. But they've got a stud in Juan Soto who turned down that huge offer. It was 15 years, $440 million. Jay, he's just 23. That would have been the largest deal in baseball. We played some of his audio earlier and basically saying, well, yeah, it's unfortunate that this gets out. And I've always said that. Should we know these guys' contracts? Should we know their salaries? And when this comes out, I mean, I don't know what the National fans have done for Juan Soto, if they're booing him or not, but it's hard to see that as an organization. Put yourself, if that's the Giants, if that's the A's, if that's the Kings, whatever team you love, and you've got a young stud who basically says no to the largest contract in the sports history, that's really tough to take as a fan base.
Yeah, it's hard. And Juan Soto has his reasons. So he'll be a free agent in 2 years. So if you're the Nationals, you need to lock him up. It's like a now or never type situation. And it's definitely trending towards never. But also we have to remember the Nationals, Juan Soto was on that World Series team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
correct?
he won the 2019
so
World Series.
He's already won a World Series, and he's 12 years old. And then it's been 3 years of really bad baseball in Washington that he's been stuck playing with. And then on the other side is Nationals ownership is looking to potentially sell a team. So you have that whole thing going on. So the on-field product probably hasn't been getting enough attention that it should from ownership. I could see why he would want out. Now you get down to this is this is a very interesting equation, Jason, because in order to acquire Juan Soto, if he's on the trade market, which clearly he is, you have to be able to, A, give the Nationals quite the haul when it comes to prospects, right? And then number 2, you have to have an ability to sign Juan Soto to a deal that's in that range of $15 and $440 million. As you and I both know, there is a handful of organizations that can do that.
Yeah, and automatically the normal candidates jump up there: the Dodgers, the Yankees, teams like the Red Sox. That, you know, the Cardinals are a sneaky one. They've gone after and gotten, you know, Goldschmidt and Arenado, and they seem to get some big time players. But those are the kind of standard teams. Like, are the A's going to look at him? No, there's no chance. Like, would they want him? Of course.
Yeah.
And they could give up the whole farm system. But that second part of your equation, Jay, you're not doing that to have him for 1 year, because the A's aren't going to sign him to a 15-year deal.
Nope.
So that's why a team like them gets eliminated. And what are you looking at? You're looking at a 23-year-old. He's played 5 seasons. And I just want to give you some of the rundown of it. At 19 years old, he was second in Rookie of the Year, came up, played the last 100 and so games or so, hit 22 homers, 70 RBIs. Second year was 9th in MVP voting at the age of 20, batted 282, 34 homers, 110 RBI. The next year was the shortened season when they only played 60 games. He won the batting title that year, finished 5th in the MVP, won a Silver Slugger. Last year, All-Star, 2nd in the MVP, another Silver Slugger, batted 313, walked 145 times, 29 homer, 95 RBI, and this year another All-Star appearance. He's, let's see, what's he batting this year? A little lower than normal, 250, but the whole league is 20 homers, 43 RBI. And this is a franchise guy, Jay. This is a generational player. He's lefty. He's talented. He's got all the tools. And to me, the Giants are a team that are on his list, that are on the list. And I think they have to be super aggressive, because this is that Bonds type player, that Posey type player that people are going to buy jerseys of and be a regular for 10 years, could have a retired number, a statue out front potential type guy. And if you're trying to compete with the Padres and the Dodgers, you're not competing if you don't get him. And certainly if one of those teams gets him, you're cooked.
Well, and it's amazing because, you know, the Padres have spent so much money the last several years, just kind of out of nowhere, right? I mean, San Diego is not a small market, but from a baseball standpoint, the Padres have always kind of been run like a small market team. And they've obviously made it known that they're interested in Soto. If they get Juan Soto, that's just ridiculous on so many different levels. But again, we go back to the handful of team. Who are the teams that have the prospects and the money to pay him? Obviously, the Mets do.
Right.
You know, they have
the money part for sure.
They have the money part, but they also have the second best prospect in all of baseball, and Francisco Alvarez at AAA right now. And they also have Brett Baty, who is another big prospect, 20th, third baseman outfielder at AA. So the Mets are a legit team, but then you look at the Giants. The Giants have 2 of the top 25 prospects in baseball, Jason, and Marco Luciano, who is ranked now, I believe, he's a top 10. Yeah, he's 9th, and he's only in single A. And then you have Josh Harrison pitching down at AA, who's ranked 25th. So the Giants have 2 huge prospects, and I feel like this is the type of move that Farhan Zaidi's been waiting on. He hasn't spent a lot of money in free agency. I mean, they have found really good deals on guys, right? Like, look at the deal they got Jock Peterson for. I mean, by all things considered, given the year he's having, they got him for next to nothing. They signed Rodon on that 2-year deal. That was a very, you know, again, team-friendly deal.
But they did this before, remember? They went for, like, they were in the real deep running for Bryce Harper.
Right.
So, I mean, I think they knew the severity of needing another outfield bat, needing another name for that franchise to keep people coming to that park. And I think Soto is the same type of player, if not better.
No, he's 100% better. I mean, you're talking about arguably a guy that is not even in his prime yet, and you already just ran down his accomplishments at 23 years old. Like, what is Juan Soto going to be like at 27, 28 years old?
Yeah.
And this is the type of move for the Giants that, because he's so young and you can lock him up as your franchise guy, you shouldn't be afraid to unload your prospects. This is what you've been waiting for. It's right there for you. If I'm Farhan Zaidi, this is not just a move for the future, Jason, but let's just say the Giants do acquire him at the deadline. You instantly have to start talking about the Giants again as a contender in the National League.
Right. And then now you're talking about, okay, just get in. You're not going to catch the Dodgers, but get in as a wild card team. They've done it before and gone through that path. This year will be a little different with the extra wild card team, but I'm guessing you'd be playing your best baseball going in. Your lineup would have more depth to it. You'd also know that, You're not doing it just for this year. You're talking about that long-term contract and that name and face for the organization as Belt and Crawford and these other guys ultimately age out. You moved on from Posey.
Sure.
And I mean, you don't do it for this reason because you do it to get them yourself. But Jay, my fear of if I was the Giants or the Giants front office, knowing that the Dodgers have so much to offer and they get these guys all the time, would then go, okay, wait a minute. They might have Freeman and Betts and Soto along with Turner already, both Turners. Like, how are we ever
team
gonna do it? And you go, the Dodgers are just gonna be relevant again for the next decade and a half.
Yeah, and the Dodgers, like the Giants, they have the young prospects to trade plus the money. So I'm telling you this, if we look at the Juan Soto sweepstakes, right? Because the other team that I think that could, because they have the prospects to do it, is Boston, but they've already shown they don't want to pay guys when they shipped Mookie Betts out. So I don't know if the Red Sox are going to want to commit that money to Juan Soto, although I think they should. I really think this will come down to almost a 3-team race, Jason, between the Dodgers, the Giants, the Mets, and maybe as a wild card, the Padres.
Okay, can I give you one other wild card that intrigues me? I know they've got the prospects. This isn't a traditional team. What about the Mariners?
Ooh.
They've got a ton of they've had one of the best farm systems the last couple of years. They've been like 2 years away from being 2 years away for a while.
Yeah, they have Marte, who's a top 20 prospect again at shortstop. He's down in single A.
That came up just this year, the pitcher Kirby, I think, and a few others.
A lot of young talent.
And probably some guys that are on their roster now you could throw in, active, ready to go guys. I don't know, total outlier, and I'm sure they'd be willing to spend the money. I don't know that part of it, but that would be a huge boom for that team.
Oh my God. It would be if the Mariners get Juan Soto, that's
a wild card for me.
It's a wild card, but it makes sense. And Seattle is a big enough market where, and we've seen the Mariners pay guys. They paid King Felix. Robbie Cano got paid. Yep. The Mariners aren't afraid to give money out. Yep. I didn't even think about the Mariners, but that would be super intriguing. Yeah. And quite frankly, if Soto's not going to the Dodgers as a baseball fan, I'd love to see him stay. I'd love to see him go to the American League, put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, if he went there, they got the 14-game win streak going into the break. I know they're excited up in the great Northwest. Okay. But I think to your point, Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox, like the usuals, and I don't know that that's always good for baseball, but man.
Jason, so the Mariners go into the All-Star break, 14-game win streak, acquire Juan Soto at the trade deadline. What if they still miss the playoffs?
Oh man, then they will. It's never going to happen.
At that point, that franchise is more cursed than the Kings.
Yes, exactly. And there's not many that could say that.
No.
All right, tonight, back. Yes, baseball's home run derby. They'll be launching them into the LA night tonight. Who do you got in the home run derby? We'll go down the field and what to watch for. That coming up next.
Sactown Sports 1140 is broadcasting live on YouTube.
To me, it's a must watch.
Check out the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and the Cattles and Rami Show. Plus, get exclusive content. Search Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube.
When there is trouble in the bedroom, it can hurt more than just your confidence. It can hurt your marriage or dating life. Not knowing if you'll be able to perform at any moment doesn't help either. Pacific Men's Clinic can help. Go to the clinic that specializes in one thing, making your love life the best it can be by solving the problem at its source. Pacific Men's Clinic's non-invasive procedure. It's safe and pain-free. Call 916-545-7577 for your free consultation now. That's 916-545-7577.
Dodge watching with Vince Bloom, the big guy at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge.
Look at all those Lasher license plates out there.
That's because during the Make This the Summer event, Vince, you're offering $12,000 off MSRP on over 35 new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s, starting at just $38,940.
He's taking off.
You lose him?
No, just another happy customer. Migrating back to Elk Grove Dodge in the Elk Grove Auto Mall.
Include $6,500 in California National Chrysler Capital Conquest and select inventory retail bonus cash. Must finance the Chrysler Capital OAC and have qualified vehicle for at least 30 days. Sample in 347916 ends 8122.
The PGA Tour is back in Napa Valley with the Fortinet Championship. Join us September 15th through the 18th at Silverado Resort and Spa for world-class golf, Napa hospitality, and powerhouse performances by Cole Swindell and One Republic. Secure tickets now at FortinetChampionship.com.
Greetings, Sacramento. It's Doug Christie here with the Good Feet Store asking, when was the last time you did something nice for your feet? If you're like most people, your feet get attention only when there's a problem. That can mean something painful, maybe real painful, like plantar fasciitis. That was me. I counted on my feet to make a living, but ignored them until almost too late. Fortunately, I found the Good Feet store, got my free personalized fitting and test walk, and in 20 minutes, I left with my expertly fit Good Feet 3-step arch support system. The pain was no more, and my feet have never felt so comfortable. I'm a Good Feet believer, and you can be too. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, and Modesto. Online at goodfeet.com.
This is Monster Jam, the official Monster Truck Series. Witness the world's best drivers competing in your favorite Monster Jam trucks. Be part of the action.
Let's hear it. Make some noise.
Brought to you by Great Clips. Get your savings coupon from participating Great Clips salons and save 20% on select tickets. See savings coupon for restrictions and details. Coming to Golden One Center August 5th through 7th.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The only local sports show in the morning.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
Ooh, I think I got that on air.
Did you get that on air?
I think so.
It's one of my few coughs.
Just, we want to be as authentic as possible. So
Yeah,
had to get a
that's
cough
me.
in.
Quarantining at home. Doing fine, thankfully.
You've told me you've
Appreciative.
rearranged your baseball cards like 56 times.
Multiple times. Let's see. Well, I've been quarantined in this room.
Are you going to show off your collection right now?
I don't know. I got an album. Do people still keep them in a baseball card album?
I don't know. Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube if you want to see Jason's. Oh, wow. It even says baseball on it.
Baseball card album. This is from years ago. JayMarZZ. Okay, this is going to be a fun game. First person in this binder. Let me see. 80s, 90s home run hitter.
Okay.
Lefty. Probably definitely peaked at this time. Not a Hall of Famer, and there's reasons why. That's a hint. Because maybe some accusations of things that helped them hit some of these homers.
Rafael Palmeiro.
JayMarZZ, let's see if you are correct. For those of you on the YouTube.
That's Chicago Cub Rafi?
That's Chicago Cub Rafi Palmeiro. Who else has made this binder? There's a lot of Rafi. Okay, next one. Also a Cub, but more known for the Indians. Super nice guy, Hall of Famer. I still say, this will be a good hint, I think has baseball's best home run of all time, but it's not considered baseball's best home run of all time.
You said was a Cub, but more known for the Indians.
Oh, and Big Shep's in here. Of course, Big Shep, our resident
card expert.
Big Shep. Check out True Sports Cards, Roseville.
Okay, a Cub more known to be an Indian.
Came
Cleveland.
up as an Indian. Let me see who else do I have him on any other teams.
I should know this.
Padre. Best home run. Ended a World Series with his home run.
Joe Carter?
Yes.
See, you should have said more known for his time as a Blue Jay. Like, I remember Joe Carter with Cleveland, but...
He was barely a Cub. See who else is in this binder. Oh, yes. One of my all-time favorites. I'll just say this. 2 sports star. You got a couple
Deion
guesses.
Sanders.
Oh, the other one.
Danny Ainge.
What?
Bo.
Bo knows. Love me some Bo. Who else is in the binder? Okay. One of my favorites, Jay, back then. Played as a Dodger. Came up as a Red. He was such a stud in this time. Eric Davis.
Oh, ED.
Look at all these 1986 tops worth probably 4 cents.
Eric Davis, when he came back from cancer, I believe it was Baltimore. That's one of like the best stories that I think gets forgotten in baseball.
Yes. Got Barry Lark.
Remember Eric Davis getting in 90 against the A's in the World Series, having to get airlifted out of the Oakland Coliseum. Remember he ran in, made that catch.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I don't remember that. Now I do. Yeah.
Then I want to say it was either that offseason or maybe the next one he signed with the Dodgers. Yeah, that Dodgers lineup of Eric Davis and Darryl Strawberry never quite reached its peak, did it?
No. Here's the remainders in this binder. Roberto Alomar.
Robbie.
Mark McGuire.
Big Mac.
Will Clark.
Oh, Nuschler. Your boy Dave got a retweet from Nuschler last week and just was through the roof about it.
And here's the last two are classic. Like when you collecting at the time, I thought these two guys were great. And one I think is really close to Hall of Fame, one not. But Kevin Mitchell, the other one, like what do you do with a guy like Fred McGriff, who's just great?
Dodgers legend Fred McGriff.
Yes.
You keep all his Dodgers cards and throw away the rest.
Okay, because I don't know how much they're worth, but there you go.
The Dodgers McGriff cards?
Yeah.
You pay people to keep them.
Tom Amansky, when Fred McGriff was teaching people how to field ground balls.
Tommy Mansky. That was always our favorite thing. If someone during baseball practice like missed a ground ball, need to get those Tommy Mansky VHSs.
That's right.
God, I remember those being advertised. Those were mass marketed, dude.
Yeah. Did anybody get them? They were everywhere. Fred McGriff was trying to sell us those with his hi hat and everything.
Somebody has like the full VHS collection of Tommy Mansky baseball drills.
You know what? We should get it and we should do a show video. No, of us like doing the drills.
We should have. Is Tommy Mansky still alive?
I'm going to go with yes without any knowledge if he was old or young when that was happening.
That's someone we need to book at some point over the next couple weeks. I'm going to do a research project to see if anybody has a plug on Tommy Mansky, we would love to have him on.
Did the digital world kill his game?
I think so.
Because he owned the VCR game, but then once we got digital and DVDs and everything, you would think maybe he never upgraded.
They made a full song about it. Don't you remember? Digital killed the VHS star.
I do remember that.
Yep.
Huge
Good
hit.
song.
Huge hit. Tonight there will be many hits. Hey
now.
In Los Angeles, the home run derby tonight. 8 of the best sluggers in all of baseball. Not the best 8, but a good 8. Let's see. Our 1 versus 8 has Kyle Schwarber, who really, he'll hit no doubters tonight. Yeah, let's go for Albert Pujols.
Yes.
One of my favorites of all time. He is going to be back in L.A. in the home run derby.
Dodger legend Albert Pujols.
Dodger legend. And I think Albert wants these to count for his overall home run total because he's getting closer to 700. But honestly, one of the greatest home run hitters we've ever seen, though I don't know that I ever felt of him as a home run hitter. He just would hit 40 a year, and he played so long.
He's one of the greatest hitters we've ever seen.
Yes,
and the home runs were just a part of that. But this is probably Albert's last season, I would imagine.
Yeah.
There's always.
I think he said it was, and he's back in St. Louis. It's a perfect way to end it.
Sure. And, and they've said he's been really good for that clubhouse. Guys just adore him up there at the major league roster. So he's been a good signing for them. But yeah, this is going to be our last time to see Albert again. I would say, Jason, over the last 20 years, best overall hitter.
Yeah.
Over the last 20.
My quest is for him to get to 700. I think he needed 21 this year. He's only got 6. So it's going to be a big second half. He's at 685 lifetime. I want to do a quick number. What do you think is the most home runs Albert Pujols hit in a season? What's your guess, JayMarZZ?
44.
Let me see. I'm looking really fast. He led the league with 47 and 42. Oh, he had 49 in 06.
Wow. So never quite got to 50.
Never 50.
That sucks.
But just consistently in that 34 to 43 range. And he just played so many years. But that's Schwarber versus Pujols. I think for me and Jay, we're all rooting for Pujols there, but nothing against Schwarber. 4-5 has
that's my matchup I'm watching.
This one, Soto versus Ramirez. And by the way, people haven't been paying attention to Jose Ramirez for the last 3 years. How good this guy is. He's an RBI machine. He's in Cleveland for the Guardians, kind of lost there, but Soto and Ramirez, that'll be a fun watch.
That'll be a fun watch, but that 2-7 is going to be fun as well.
Well, because Acuna is a lot of fun. I feel like he's going to be the one that's going to swing out of his shoes and won't hit as many deep home runs. And then Pete Alonso, I feel like is made for this. He loves it.
Yeah.
He's enjoyed it. He gets into his musical beat in this thing, gets into a rhythm, and he's won the last 2, right?
He has. So Pete Alonso, Ronald Acuna Jr. Again, there's a really good names in this tonight. And then you get to the 3-6 matchup. This should be fun too. Another Dodgers legend, Corey Seager, who's been red hot as of late, by the way. He's actually going into the home run derby, the hottest, I think, of these 8 hitters against Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah, young stud for Seattle. Seager had said he wouldn't be in the home run derby unless he got put on the All-Star team, and ultimately he did. He's had a nice season. It's still weird that he's not a Dodger. And I mean, the luxury of like, hey, we're going to bring in Trey Turner, and yeah, we're comfortable. We can lose Corey Seager. Like, my gosh, just the embarrassment of riches that the Dodgers have.
Embarrassment of riches doesn't even do it justice. You lose Corey Seager, who is a just perennially great player and was one of probably the 3 best players on that World Series team in 2020. And you lose Kenley Jansen, who's been your closer the last 10 to 12 seasons. And you're still on pace to win 107 games.
Man. And to me, the one, like, I don't know if and when it'll ever happen. If Justin Turner ever left that team, that would be the one that's weird.
Yeah,
right?
no.
Or Kershaw on another team, which I don't think will ever happen.
Well, Kershaw, I've always said I would not be shocked. I'd be surprised, but not shocked if he spent his last couple years with a team like the Rangers, again, he's a Texas boy. He definitely won't go play for the Astros, but I could see him playing for the Rangers for maybe a season or two. But, you know, and Kershaw, man, again, second
was that
time.
Friday night or
Friday
Saturday night?
I thought it was Friday.
Yeah, one of the nights there near. We had a perfect game for.
Yeah, lost in the 8th.
Man,
second time this year. At least Dave Roberts left him in this time, and you know Kershaw can kind of blame himself for that one. But yeah, I mean, Kershaw has been great this year. I doubt he'll ever not be a Dodger, but man, shout out to Clayton for having such a great season. Yeah. But yeah, it's just the Dodgers are ridiculous with the money, and I'm a Dodgers fan, and I think baseball really failed, Jason, in this last CBA to kind of curb the spending of the major market teams, the New Yorks and the LAs. It just, again, it's an embarrassment of riches.
Where are you as a Dodger fan on their when the season ends for you? And why I'm asking as a fan of them, because your other teams, as we know, you love the Kings, you love the 49ers. Kings are a unique situation because they just haven't, sniffed the playoffs in forever. And the Niners have been good. But where are you on the Dodgers? And why I asked, Jay, is because as a Yankee fan, for the better part, now it's been a while since they've won a World Series, but not that long. It was 2009. But when they lose every year, I'm upset. Yeah. But I also know, like, okay, next year, like, I don't feel like when a year ends, like, I may not see them in the playoffs for 15 years just because the way they run their organization. Now, most people don't like that, but as a fan of the team, it doesn't devastate me as much, though I think your Dodgers have obviously been in the World Series and have had some heartache here in some of those World Series losses.
The Dodgers have given me a lot of heartache, actually. You know, the Kings, I'm not even, no hyperbole, the Kings season, usually I'm over it after 2 months, the last several years. But with the Dodgers, it's like it's World Series or bust every year.
Right.
And obviously, outside of 2020, it's been a bust. So there is actually a lot more anger at the end of the Dodgers season than the Kings season. And then the Niners can frustrate me in so many different ways. Like that's an entire different, monster on its own. But yeah, no, the Dodgers leave me with a lot of heartache at the end of the season. I usually leave baseball season pretty upset.
Yeah. I mean, who do you got tonight, by the way?
Tonight?
I'm going Alonso.
Oh, I was going Alonso. Alonso's the easy one.
Yeah.
But I'm rooting for Albert, obviously.
That would be such a great story. I don't even know. I don't think he'll get past Schwarber, but if he did, that'd be even awesome.
Yeah, but you never know. I mean, he is a strong man still. And again, he's taking BP.
Yeah.
So it's anyone's ball game.
That's the thing, is like when you can get into a rhythm. I mean, what gets everybody's attention is when someone hits it out of Dodger Stadium, but it's just one, right? Like if you just keep peppering the 400 or 380s that go over, like those are home runs. They count them all.
Albert's a vet. He knows how to play this game.
Yeah, just that steady, smooth swing. We shall see. The Home Run Derby is tonight. That should be fun. We'll have a reaction to that tomorrow and much more. We do have one final segment coming your way here. Jason Ross and JayMarZZ. We wrap up the Monday show with a look at the news in the way that we do, and we'll test JayMarZ's ability to guess the ages of those we call celebrities. We'll do that next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports 1140. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people that play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa. Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility, and Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality, and Safe Credit Union. Let us put you first.
The new Fords have arrived at Folsom Lake Ford. I know you've been waiting for a new F-150 or maybe an Explorer or Expedition. Guess what? Folsom Lake Ford has them. Your truck headquarters for over 30 years right here in Sacramento is all stocked up with new Fords and used vehicles. Save with low interest financing on your favorite new models and zero down deals available on all new and used vehicles with approved credit. Get top dollar for your trade, making your monthly payment on your new Ford even lower. Folsom Lake Ford is the only dealership I recommend to my friends. A Triple Crown Award winner for sales, service, and finance. Highway 50 Folsom exit, or browse fresh inventory online at folsomlakeford.com. It's updated almost daily. And if you can't find what you're looking for, give them a call. Tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford.
MVP's bonus days are here for pros. 12 days, pros save big, and MVPs get even more. Because MVP's Pro Rewards members can earn bonus points to redeem for rewards. Earn points on every dollar spent up to $1,000 and get up to 3 times more points when you shop select brands and products. Find MVP's bonus day savings from July 11th to the 22nd in-store and online. Exclusively at Lowe's. Exclusively for pros. MVP's Pro Rewards program subject to program terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/L/pro loyalty terms. Subject to change.
When you bundle your renters and auto insurance with Progressive, you could save money, but it doesn't cover any terrible memories living rent-free in your head.
Hey, just wanted to remind you of that time your kicker missed the extra point and lost the game. Even though he literally never missed an extra point, he chose this playoff game to miss. Yeah, just noticed you hadn't thought about that in a bit. Wouldn't want you to miss, thinking about it.
Sorry, we can't save you from that memory, but we could save you money bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Renters insurance and bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Small businesses are the backbone of America. Yet when it comes to workers' comp insurance, you rarely get the savings you deserve. That's because insurance companies tend to lump you in with other businesses, and you can get overcharged. At Pi Insurance, we're on a mission to change that. With Pi, you get a quote specific to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. If you like savings, take 3 minutes to see how much you could save at trypi.com. Pi makes workers' comp insurance as easy as pie, with friendly representatives just a call away. No wonder customers rate our service excellent on Trustpilot. You work hard to build your business and keep your employees safe. You deserve more from your workers' comp provider. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote today at trypi.com. That's trypie.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave talking about my friends at American Energy. $49 tune-up offer. I did it 2 weeks ago. You should do it too. It's only $49 for an air conditioning tune-up, and you get a free indoor air quality test. Oh, it's so simple. Call today to schedule your appointment with my local friends at American Energy at 916-520-9990. Catch the 916 there, 520-9990. A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. Been around since 81. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com.
When the world's best players get fitted for new golf clubs, they want to see their ball flight outdoors. Why should you settle for any less? The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is the area's unquestioned leader in delivering a new age of golf club fitting to Northern California. With 14 trained, skilled professionals to show you how to hit the ball farther and straighter, satisfied customers have increased their yardage, improved their games, and gained confidence. Call 916-808-2531 to get started. That's 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Stand by on this frequency. It's time for the news of the day.
Thank you for ruining the show and dropping a steamer on my journalistic integrity.
Today's important headlines, intelligent analysis, hard-hitting interviews. Yeah, this is none of those things. Here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Oh my God, I love those guys.
Before you start, I just have to say I hate you.
Why?
You're making me get the itch to go to the card shop, and I don't need to be out there spending money like that.
Oh, come on. I was showing cards during the break. None says, great show today, Jay Ross and JayMarZZ. Thank you. We need a segment one of these days on Jay Ross's cards.
Jay Ross has a really nice collection.
It's not bad. It was great that we, that was a fun day. I don't know how long ago that was, but me, you, and Chris Watkins. Yeah, last summer, had a day like, let's just bring in, we're not bringing in all our cards. I don't know if we brought in
our
each
good
or something.
stuff.
Yeah, just some stuff to show off. You had some really impressive stuff. Like you had some old school stuff. Some of those big, big cards. Didn't you have like a big Jerry West or something? That was cool.
It sounds funny out of context.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I have the big Kareem. I have several of those cards. I think I have a Willis Reed. But yeah, I've gone over some of my stuff. I do have some really nice stuff. I would love to get all my stuff graded. That's just so expensive, and I just don't like the idea of shipping my stuff to Dallas and not knowing when I'm ever going to get it back.
And maybe our guy Big Shep, who's in there today always, which we appreciate. Big Shep says, thanks guys, come on by. Jay, he's inviting you to the store.
Yeah, and by the way, Shep, you should know during the break off air, Jason was really hyping your store up. So
Yes,
I may
I was.
need to have to come say hi to you. I want to get a couple Keegan Murray rookie cards here.
Oh, Jay's investing in Keegan Murray.
I said it the year Tyrese was a rookie that I was going to start grabbing Kings rookie cards. That was how I was going to collect. So I got a couple Tyrese's. I need to get my Davion still.
There you go. Start stocking up on your Kings.
I have a De'Aaron rookie somewhere in there.
Nice.
I did not get a Marvin Bagley.
Dean says he's a card guy. I did not know that.
Dean?
So anyway, that's what he says. If it's
Oh.
on the YouTube, it's factual.
Okay, maybe one of these days we'll have a show meetup. Maybe
Okay.
maybe at Shep's Card Shop, and we can
Exactly.
all do some stuff there.
True Sports Cards out there in Roseville. Check it out. All right. Awesome. We're going to get in some news here of the day.
Now for the real stories.
Yeah. Even though, since again, I'm kind of isolated, quarantine here in the house, we'll have some sort of card segment every day because I got the
think that's a good
binders
idea.
here. I mean, you just never know what's in these mystery binders that I still have from back in the day.
Do you have a Marvin Bernard rookie?
I'm sure somewhere. That's going to be my quest now to find a Marvin Bernard rookie by tomorrow. It's not in a binder, but we'll find it. Today is National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. I think if you're in there, there's a reason and you're kind of stuck. I don't think you can just say, hey, it's National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. I'm
Shots
good
at
now.
Dave.
National Caviar Day. I have not had, to my knowledge, caviar before.
I can't say I have either.
Not pursuing it. I don't even. Yeah. I just always, as a kid, it was associated. Oh, we're gonna have caviar, like some rich hoity-toity food, and I don't know that I would ever order it. I don't think I've ever been in a spot. Well, maybe I've been in a restaurant that has it, but I've never ordered it.
Me and you are not important enough, I guess, for caviar, are we?
No, I'm more of the last one. National Sour Candy Day. Even though I'm not a fan of sour candy, you know who's that's their wheelhouse is Jay Johnson. Loves sour candy.
See, I like sour candy. I don't love it, but
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it at all. Like Sour Patch Kids, those can get really addicting really fast.
It's too much. It's too much for me. Some sports news here, very important, and this may impact the card collectors or those that are into jerseys and jersey watch. Looks like LaMelo Ball is going to change his jersey from number 2 to number 1, Jay.
Oh, so if you got
Next
yourself
year.
that authentic Hornets LaMelo jersey, that might be, worth something one day.
And maybe those guys are, well, I mean, pick the number you want, but I'm not a fan of players changing jerseys on the same team that they're on.
Yeah, it's really annoying. We've seen that actually happen several times with the Kings. Remember Ben McLemore went from 16 to 23, although that had a reason for it with Peja's number being retired. But I think Scalabiciere went from 3 to 7. There's been a couple other number changes while with the same team too, with the Kings.
Yeah, not my thing.
No,
not my thing.
Stick with one number on one team. I get when you're switching teams, if you want to switch numbers, that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
have you been to a restaurant, Jay, where they treat you poorly on purpose? There's a place in Manchester that opened. It's called Karen's Diner, and all the waitresses are females. And going off the name Karen, and they just basically yell at you, throw your menu at you.
This is real?
Yes, it's in Manchester. You have a chance to go to Karen's Diner, where you're purposely treated rudely.
That is a specific type of individual who's a quote unquote glutton for punishment, I guess. I'm hoping the food is good. If you're gonna go pay for an experience of waitresses being mean to you,
Yeah,
right? The food better be top notch,
Right, because if you do that, you're like, okay, maybe I'd go once, or bring family. Hey, this restaurant's pretty funny. You're in town. Let's go check it out. The food's okay, but you're gonna get yelled at. We're going for the experience. You'll say you've been there, but after that, it's like, yeah, I don't think I'm a unless the food's just out of this world, which I'm guessing it's not.
There's only been one place. It's in San Francisco that the service was just horrible, but the food was so good I put up with it. One place I've ever been to.
But that wasn't designed to be horrible. It just happened to be horrible.
No, they don't do it on purpose. They just suck.
Okay. How about this? A Missouri man is in a class action lawsuit against Bass Pro. That's the outdoor outfitter that is refusing to honor its lifetime warranty on socks.
What?
Exactly. Kent Slaughter of Springfield said that after years of exchanging his, quote, redhead lifetime guarantee all-purpose wool socks every time they wore out, it's no longer happening. They carried a warranty before. They said there's the last sock you'll ever need to buy because of its lifetime warranty. Slaughter said in the lawsuit that the warranty was a major factor in his decision to buy the socks.
Well, I mean, lifetime, I'm guessing if you're promising that, the sock is probably more expensive than the pack of socks you're going to get at Marshall's, right? So I think Mr. Slaughter has a case.
So he's buying socks knowing they'll wear out, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to bring him in.
Lifetime warranty, dude.
I guess, but they're socks. They are going to wear through. So I don't know.
But Jason, if they have a lifetime warranty, that means they're good for life. Right?
Okay, so if you bought a pair of those socks and they wore out, if you knew about the warranty, are you going in with, hey, I bought these here, I want my new pair of socks, or are you just going to buy a new pair of socks?
Socks are not cheap, first of all.
That's true.
No, if my sock comes with a lifetime warranty, I'm using that warranty. Like anything else I buy with a lifetime warranty, I'm using it. If my TV comes with a lifetime warranty, which it won't, I'm using that, right?
Yeah, that's why they got to rethink their lifetime warranty on socks. But if you were the judge, he would win. According to you, he would win his case.
I think Mr. Slaughter has a great case, and I need the fisherman socks need to, do what they do.
Okay.
Get that man his socks.
Get him his socks. Give him a fresh, clean pair. J-Lo and Ben Affleck apparently tied the knot over the weekend, Jay. Bennifer, it's a thing.
20 years after first being engaged, right?
Ongoing. Yeah, she has been not rumored. She's been with a lot of different people, whether that was good. It looks like, her and A-Rod, is this going to be a thing? And then now it's her and back to Ben Affleck. I wish them nothing but the best.
Yeah, I think she finally, at this point in her life, was looking at, lovers, so to speak, and was like, you know what, Affleck? Doesn't Ben Affleck just scream stability? Right? Like, he just looks like a stable guy.
I guess Jennifer Garner didn't think so.
Well, again, that was years ago.
That was a fling with someone.
Yeah, but again, I think at this point,
he's matured.
He looks like stability, and she just looks like she needs stability in her life. I am happy for Jennifer
Does
Lopez.
she look like stability?
No, which is why she needs the counter of stability.
Okay, got it.
Man.
It's Ben Affleck.
Friend of the show, Jennifer Lopez, by the way.
I need more details.
I've interviewed J-Lo a couple times. Alexa's actually interviewed her in person.
Wonderful. Was it wonderful?
She said she was great. And she was she's always been nice when I've talked to her.
Was she just Jenny on the Block?
No, she was Jennifer Lopez.
Okay.
Jenny on the Block, come on, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. On this date, 1927, also a long time ago, Ty Cobb registered hit 4,000.
He's dead.
He did. On the Philadelphia Athletics, the weird part about that is he did it against his old team, the Detroit Tigers.
A's legend, Ty Cobb.
Yes.
Will there be a Ty Cobb day out at the Coliseum, 339-1140?
Yeah, where you can act rudely. Wasn't he just a jerk, apparently?
Ty Cobb, by all accounts, was not a good person.
Yeah. Well, we've got some good people on our list of birthdays today, Jay. It is July 18th, 2022. So these are the people celebrating a birthday today, including former Yankee manager, former Mets manager, former baseball player, Joe Torre.
Oh, Joseph.
How old is Joseph Torinovich?
Joe Torre is 79.
Joe Torre is celebrating his 82nd birthday today.
I was going to say 81, but then I was like, I don't want to age Joe. But
you got to be careful.
Former Dodgers manager, Joe Torre.
Okay. Up next, happy birthday, not to Lil Penny, but the big Penny. Penny Hardaway.
Penny Hardaway.
Former Magic legend, current Memphis Tigers coach.
I'm going to say he is an even 50.
Even 50. Penny Hardaway was 50 yesterday.
Yes!
51 today.
Oh, damn it.
That was an early celebration for JayMarZZ. Penalty on Jay. Happy birthday to Nick Faldo. Sir Nick Faldo. How old is he celebrating today?
I don't have the first clue. Nick Faldo is 63.
Pretty good guess. He is 65 today.
Okay.
How about former Twin Angel? Not sure who else. Torrey Hunter.
Ooh, Torrey Hunter is
Tiger?
48. I believe he was a Tiger.
Okay, 47.
Just missed it.
Let's wrap a couple others. Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo is 33.
32. Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel is 48.
55 for Vin.
Wow. I did not think he was that old.
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell, 43.
42 today. And how you doing? Wendy Williams.
Wendy's got to be pushing 60 now. I'll say 57.
58 for Wendy Williams. How you doing? Oh, there you go.
I've interviewed Wendy as well, friend of the show.
Have you? How was she?
I asked one question. She spoke for about 20 minutes.
Okay. Wendy's a fan of Wendy.
She's like Bill Walton.
We should have them interview each other.
That would be monumentally bad.
We would have the day off.
That's true. That's a good point.
That's it for us. For JayMarZZ, I'm Jason Ross. Jim Rome is coming your way next. Have a great day. See ya.
If you want all the latest news and opinions about your favorite teams, visit us on IG, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. The best and most expansive coverage of your local sports. Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise and the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback. And by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.